it's just falling apart.
Now we do.
What did you do?
Do we have sound now?
Do we have sound now?
Yes,
People
we
out
do.
there in listener land?
Ugh.
Should you bring us in again?
Should I bring us in again?
Yeah, Kyle, bring us all the way in
Oh my
again.
God.
Okay.
Bring it
It's
in.
in between the
Bring it
twins.
back.
Here we go,
Bring it
Kyle.
back.
Bring it back.
Welcome to episode 126 of Tattoo Collecting 101, right here on Guy Atchison's Reinventing the Tattoo Community. The community for tattooers, collectors, and all those curious about the world of tattooing. Be sure to join us on these real world events and live streams, and we aim to educate and inspire one another to create better artwork and tattoos and to leave the community a better place than how we found it. We stream out most days of the week, so be sure to check out the full schedule of events going on at reinventingthetattoo.com. You can also find these shows on our Roku channel, as well as your favorite podcast platforms. So just search for Reinventing the Tattoo and you'll find us. Real quick, just want to say thank you to the sponsors who make this network possible. Thank you to World Tattoo Events, which has the largest, most comprehensive list of tattoo conventions going on in the world right now, as well as Tattoo Now, technology for tattooers. They're the leading edge in professional development, management, and digital tools for tattooers of all levels. I also want to say thank you to our affiliates at the Fireside Tattoo Network, as well as the Apprenticeship Diaries. And lastly, thank you to Guy Atchison, the founder and inspiration behind the community. You can go to guyatchison.com to get your copy of the Biomech Encyclopedia, instructional DVDs, original paintings, and custom coil machines. And if you're enjoying the knowledge that we're putting out, be sure to share it with a friend and watch another video.
Full time.
Good job.
Listen, the second time.
So proud of you.
The first time was practice.
The first time was always the better one.
You did great both times.
You know, Kyle, you're almost getting polished. It's kind of getting scary.
Listening.
I think I left all flaming materials in the
Bless.
truck.
Boop.
Well, hello there.
Hello
Oh,
there.
hello.
I have that one too. I have a couple of them actually.
She got us little thing ready to go here. So how's fun? How's your week?
Pretty good. So now that we have sound, I'm gonna go through all that again. So today at the shop, we have like the best chemistry going. I think this has been the most talkative day I've ever walked into. I kind of at the last minute booked something small today. They happen to be flexible and available on a Thursday. So I was like, oh, that's only gonna take an hour or so. I can go ahead and get you in before the
Nice.
show. Little did I know, they were absolutely wonderful. Like just chatterboxes,
Just a gem
but
of a
like my
client.
kind of people from the start. She brought a really cool gift for me that actually fit in beautifully with my whole like collection of random things in my station. So like right off the rip, like my kind of people. Ended up getting her a little tattoo done and booking a half sleeve for him, which
Yes,
I have a
thank you.
strong feeling will probably be a full sleeve
Ow.
before it's all said and done.
Nothing like
Um,
that sliding into full sleep.
But yeah, I mean, he had a cover up he didn't think anything could be done with because it was tribal, but it was like not that dark. It also wasn't bad, so it all flowed. When it flows, you can kind of camouflage it within that flow. You know what I mean?
You want a koi
And
bird?
his
Gosh.
ideas are like the ideas we discussed are right up my alley. Listen to this. Ready?
I'm ready.
Fractal nebula with an icosahedron and Orion, the constellation on the inner arm.
Now that sounds amazing. And I understood the word consolation that you used in that muddled mess of math words. So if you at some point want to like
Do you know what a fractal is?
break that down, Barney, for me.
You know, the
I would love
unending
that.
shape that's built off of like the Fibonacci sequence that flows into and out of itself,
Yep.
infinitely.
Yeah. I got
Combined
got
with
that
a
on my ankle.
nebula,
Looks
with
like
a
an 8 sideways.
Combined with a spiral nebula. Not that infinity. That's not the right infinity.
Wait, what?
And then an icosahedron, the platonic symbol for water.
I got that.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's my favorite shape.
Mine too. See? She's tattooing one on me. I just recognized the word. I didn't know what she meant, to be honest with you. I can't visualize it in my brain.
I was recently looking at pictures of your tatty blasts that we've been working on.
We need to get out of it.
We are a little bit further along with that than I thought we were. Like
We-
we're like past halfway on the first leg. Like once we get another session or two
Yeah,
on
we're
that,
quartering.
it's gonna feel
We're quartering.
it's gonna
We-
feel like we're getting somewhere.
We need to get a day on it. And seeing as I'm not doing much, you should hit me up next time you're bored.
Okay. As it turns out, Maddie, there was oat milk, sweetened oat milk in the little
Girl,
tiny
stop.
refrigerator.
You guys are fucking funny.
Yeah, you're making me not have intestinal distress in the bed.
Hey, I like the way you called it
worst.
intestinal distress.
Certain parts, I hit you with-
Perfect.
hit
I
you with the
love
yellow.
it. That's fantastic.
They're calling it
Wonderful.
my house as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, so this
go,
week I
buddy.
thought was gonna be like a super light week on the tatties, but it has actually turned out to not be so light on the tatties and been a good week.
Oh, yes.
Mhm. I did this really rad, I should send it to the Instagrams because it's worth sharing. I did this really rad She-Ra piece on Eric, who I
Fuck
do all
yes.
the
Yeah.
Sandman stuff on.
Eric's cool shit.
It turned out so cool. We were here till, I think I was working on him until after 3. So that put us here until 3:30 by the time he left. And then I was like, you know what? I'm probably not gonna sleep anytime soon anyway.
For those of you that don't realize, she's speaking about AM.
Oh yeah, the AM.
Yes, AM.
Yeah, so
That's
listen
in
to
the
what
fucking morning.
I got my coil machines out and kind of like tinkered and tuned those up. I
No.
have this little adapter so that I can clip it onto any of my machines and hook a battery up to it, which is pretty rad.
We had said we were gonna do a coil day just to play with them.
Maybe my next session with you, I'll just set up my old liner and shader. I've still got my matched Allen Dixon machine side by side ready to go.
Hells yes.
Yep. And they are nice and soft and gentle. They're little short
Fine. I don't
coils.
think any tool in your hand would be harsh.
I mean,
Is that the right word?
I try to be efficient. We actually had a whole conversation about this today. I do try to be incredibly efficient, but I don't try to be extra. I never try to be extra. I don't want to waste anybody's pain. Like it's gonna hurt no matter what,
Aw.
but like to be efficient with that pain. I don't want pointless pain. I don't want to
Wasted
hurt somebody
pain.
for no reason.
Can that be like our grunge band?
Wasted pain. I
Like,
love it.
you know?
As long as you wear the flannel.
Yeah. Come on. Like really? Like I don't own 32 of them. I just need to tie it around my waist.
I'm
instead of
just gonna
actually
wear, I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
no,
wear,
no.
I'm gonna wear the long john shirt with the thumb hole, but not like the new thermals, the
cut that shit.
90s long john thermals, the waffle,
It actually-
the waffle thermal that
actually
comes in the
just-
multi-pack.
Has to be.
I
two
feel like you
sizes
can
too big.
only find them during hunting season. You know those ones?
I did.
I like the little thumb holes. I feel safe.
My hands get cold easy, so that
Yeah, I
always
like to
works
just
out
have it in
really
there. It's like
well.
Had
And
to
like
go
my
here.
hoodies.
it's so cold.
You can tell my favorite hoodies because like right here they get the most like ratty and raggedy because I'm always
like,
just like hiding my hands in them and
That's why Patagonia rules. They put thumb holes in a lot of their stuff, especially if it's expected to be like a base layer or something
Mhm.
like that. And it's like, you know, you love me. You
Aw.
can tell. I give you money, you give me love. It's the best.
It's like Olive Garden. Like when you're there, your family. You know what I mean?
Until
I
they make you
love it.
leave. It's not never ending pasta bowl. Let me tell you.
We always call it mom's house. Every time I'm like, hey guys, you wanna go to mom's house? And then everyone's like, hell yeah, they know exactly. All my friend group is like, that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
at one point wrote a menu for a restaurant called Home.
That's cute.
You guys want to go home to eat? Yeah,
We
see,
go back to
it hits. It hits. We had
Alright.
the majority of the concept written before we bailed on it.
the
Uh,
idea is still there though,
Oh, for sure.
still in the aether.
We did backyard too. You want to go eat in the backyard or at the backyard?
Be like
And-
a smoke shack kind of feel.
No, astroturf and fucking lawn furniture, fucking
Food wise.
fast serve, like hot dog hamburger, potato
Oh,
salad, like
Okay, you
fucking
went the other way
barbecue,
with
like-
it. I was
Potato
thinking
salad.
like
casserole, like you're going to a fucking
I was
family
thinking, like,
picnic, you know?
family reunion backyard.
Oh, fuck, on everything. Just
Wow.
the whip on everything.
Or noon.
Do like a baked potato bar.
I'm all about a
Really-
baked potato
it's
bar.
really-
You know what? Can we white trash it up a little bit?
Come on.
Hold on.
Come on.
Instead of baked potatoes, can we just go crispy tots?
Now, you
crispy
can
tot bar.
serve, you can
My
serve
favorite thing ever.
tots, but the
crazy.
fucking essence is the baked potato bar. You charge extra for that shit.
And it's a big potato like McAllister's. It's
Oh,
like a
yeah.
Big girl.
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
one. It's all you can eat, but yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's where we get you.
yeah.
All the toppings.
Have you ever noticed that the larger, like if you go to a buffet, the things that are larger are not expensive. The things that are cut small are.
That's how it works.
Please fill up on this giant piece of chicken and here is a 3x3 square of steak.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I usually have the option of salad or salad on bread when I go out, or they have a pasta.
Mm.
Fucks with the pasta. Except for Columbus is dope, so I can go get Indian food or whatever.
Are you vegetarian?
Mhm.
Okay,
For like 9 years.
okay.
Meat free. I put meat on my meat sandwich today.
That's cute. I like it.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way, shape.
I
or
draw
form.
animal foods all the time.
I
It's okay.
love it.
I'm all right with it.
I tried.
Just
to-
don't make me eat it.
No.
I don't care if you eat meat. I just want you to force it on me.
Yeah, never.
I don't want you to
will
like
wash my
meat
hand
eaters just don't need
against
to force it on me all the time.
it. Same.
I'm
Same.
just joking.
Like if we're going out to eat, don't expect me not to want to get a burger, you know?
My thing is like there's certain smells that like are just the worst thing ever for me. So I don't want to go out and like you get like a
Yeah.
seafood platter and I'm just happen to like sit there while I'm like, okay.
I will yak on you.
Yeah, I just want to
Uh,
have like I don't know. You do like anything that's not seafood or pork. Pork is a bad smell.
We'll figure that out. I don't know. I tried to go vegetarian.
Mhm.
I lasted a month and a half and I hated life.
You didn't feel good?
No, like
Yeah,
not at
This wasn't
all.
for you.
Like not at all. Even trying to like, I even shifted it a couple of different times and tried to eat more or less of different things, and it was not for me. It took about as long as for me to forget about the movie Food Inc. to then go back to eating normal.
Okay, but have you watched What the Health?
No, because last time I
hadn't
did
eaten
that, I
any
went
of
on a food crisis for
Girl,
6
me too.
months.
I had at the time I was vegan for like 2 years and I was sobbing because my partner was still eating it. I was like, I put that in my body. It was talking about like how fast they check like the meat. He's like, you haven't eaten meat in so long. Like, why is this a problem? I was like, it was in here.
It's
Look,
probably
I'm
still in
sorry.
there. Well, I mean, I understand that the health conscientious person that is doing it for a benefited diet. That makes sense.
Oh, it
to
makes me sick. That's why I don't eat it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
love that.
I fell
that's the
into it on
reason.
accident, but the ethics did come later. There's some stuff that's a little fucky.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's life.
That
I mean,
came later though, that I was more like, oh, don't love that.
okay, so can we just agree that that's anything you look into too deeply? You're like, oh, Disney, that's great. Oh, wait, fucking Nazis. Or like, you know, everything just leads back to some fuckery at some
Yeah, I
point,
guess so.
you know?
Yeah, people were getting on me about like, oh, you don't eat meat, but you'll feed your snake live rats.
Yeah, that's what
It's
the
like-
fuck
That's
you
the
eat.
That's
snake's
what they're
body, not
supposed
my
to-
body.
Yeah, I don't
That's-
eat it with her. It's not like I made dinner like that. Like, she had that and I had spaghetti.
That's the most realistic approach I've ever heard in my life, and I thank you for it. Way to represent. You're now my favorite vegetarian.
Thank you.
So Maddie, last time we had you on, were you just doing a guest spot or were you here?
I was guest spotting.
Okay, so
Or no,
now
I had guest spotted and then I came
Yes,
back.
spotting.
it was just like an in-between little visit, right?
I was just coming to
So
visit
now
you.
you're here, you're moved, you're settled into your
Is that
tatty
like a full
space.
spotting then?
I'm
Mhm.
there. Yeah, totally. I've arrived. I'm spotted.
It's not even spotting.
For good.
That just took a real weird turn. Yep, I'm with you.
Should
Hmm.
you need to be better.
Nope. This is
There
me.
you go.
This is me.
Anyway, I love
All-
it here.
all
It's
the
so
time.
awesome. The growth of my art already has been like incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Because I was just telling Fawn about that, like just coming to visit, Fawn had just kind of like sat with me for a minute and just kind of like I had asked a couple of questions and I have been asking everybody. And she kind of just gave me that thing that kind of sent it home. And where my art was kind of stuck at, I've just kind of moved past that. And I can look back on my art and see the growth. It feels like it's been like so long ago
Aw,
from the change. So that's
little
really cool.
grasshopper.
Thank you.
no, it's
It was nice though. And I know
It's-
I'm gonna have more of that here.
it's different to be immersed in an environment. So like anytime you get to be around like-minded people, you're going to pick up tips and tricks. Like, and that's why the conference mind works. That's why, you know what I mean? Like I love people that are open to an environment, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
If you can walk in and be like, oh,
Yeah.
and then be excited about what's
Yeah.
there. I recently had a chance to talk to people about a small little niche of knowledge that nobody else knows about except like 5 people in Ohio. And I'm one of them. And it was really cool to be like, oh, wait, you know about this too?
Are you talking about hammocks
Yeah,
again?
I am, but I wasn't gonna bring that up.
Is
um,
up hammocks?
No, I was just,
Okay, you're in the list.
I backpack a lot. Like I
Yeah.
sleep outside a lot, and I do that in hammock systems.
I love that.
Yeah, it's super rad, but like nobody does that.
Yeah.
And there's only
Could you
like,
teach me to maybe hammock?
I absolutely would love to teach you to
I would
hammock.
love to learn how to
It is
hammock.
a blast.
Hell yeah.
But on
Make a
the,
kayak.
I got those two.
Stop.
Hit
What
it
are
up.
you doing?
I am outside
Yes,
person.
this last time, too.
Always,
What did you
always.
say for us?
Let me know.
Let's
You,
keep going.
yeah, I'm reachable.
This is our point where we talk about our friendship progressing and and now
Yes.
we continue it. Yeah.
Yes. I'm
Nice.
I'm a big fan of that.
Mm.
But like just being able to be in that
Is it?
nobody else can answer this question environment is super, like I nerded out as soon as I left. I was like, oh my God, all this stuff I
It's
can
funny.
do now.
It's funny.
Like,
You and I, one of the things that Ben and I really have in common is that like we know a lot about these interesting little pockets of things,
that
but we
means
know
nothing
like
to no one
to the
else.
nth degree. And there sometimes like, for instance, you can talk about like fabric with these guys in a way that most people, even other hammock enthusiasts can't, because he's also a fabric nerd.
Yeah, that's true.
Like where like sometimes I'll get on like technical conversations with people and I'll start talking mechanics and
You hit me
sometimes
with
it's like
yeah.
sometimes it's like, how and why would you know that? It's like, well, first of all, like, I don't
Okay.
know. I like tiny pieces and parts. Second of all, I worked at a bike shop for years. So it kind of like just trains my brain to work in tiny precision.
I remember when we were in Arizona a few years back, and Vandango had a loose wire or
The electric, the where I
something.
figured out the bad relay.
something was fucked up. And like we're parked, we're at the car parts store, and Fawn's like, it's just this. And I'm like, I hear you. Like, I believe you, but let me look. Like, let me make sure there's nothing else wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm like, yep, okay, we see the wire. She points to it. She's like, it's right fucking there, Ben. I'm like, yep. I can't get my fat fucking sausage hand down through the thing. And Fawn's just like, is that all the way? Do we need to buy a wrench, or do you think, yeah, that's got it? No, we're good. Like, why am I?
See, everybody
Why am I
worries
here?
about me traveling by myself, and then you realize that I'm actually a pretty good problem solver. And like,
You didn't even solve the problem. There was no problem to solve. You walked out and was like, no, fam, it's this. I'm like, cool. Yeah, that would make sense, but let's make sure nothing's blowing up, you know? And she's like, bro, turn the bolt like right that way. Just fucking turn it. It'll be like, that's all we need.
well,
And then I couldn't do it.
The way you described it reminded me of like in the cartoons and they're like going through all the lasers. I just imagined Fonzie just like
Yeah, and that was exactly it, because it was a cable on the back side of the battery, and to get through it, she had to go like through where
Yeah.
the breather was, and you're just kind of like, "Huh?" I'm like, my hand wasn't doing it.
yeah, somebody with bigger arms might have had to like take the whole air intake
Uh-huh.
off.
Yeah, that was my
and
next step.
That's you. Oh,
Just like you just described something to me the other day by using the word 3 millimeters, and I went, "Fawn, the fuck is 3 millimeters?" What's
Like-
school in America?
like that much.
Like, what's that? Like, give me a little depth on that. Like,
A quarter inch?
It's like when
That's
people try to ask me
better.
directions for things. It's really bad. I'm always like,
you know what I do when people ask me for directions? Ask them for their phone.
oh, heard. Yeah.
Yeah, let me see
Yeah.
your phone.
Yeah.
And then I will type the fucking
got you. I
address
got you.
in.
Yeah.
Like,
In Google Maps.
what's the
Yeah,
name of
that's
the
That's the worst.
You want not? I'm just gonna type in Indian food. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There
Huh?
you go. That's the one.
It'll tell you when to turn. It's fucking cool. Just
It talks to you even. Goofy. Sometimes she sounds sexy.
Remember how Tony Terrell's answer for everything was always Google?
Google it. Fucking figure it out.
Google it.
Fucking figure it out. I had to change the voice on my person giving me directions because the American
The Australian one's
female.
what I got.
Siri, she sounded like my ex-wife,
Oh, no.
and I instantly didn't trust her directions. So anytime, no, I'm serious as a heart attack. Anytime she'd be like, turn left, and be like, are you sure you're
You're
just
like,
taking me the long way? Yeah.
1999 Yahoo Maps. Are you sure I should turn left?
Right.
This is a one way. The other way. Are you sure
It
I
does
should
say
turn
do not
left?
enter. Like,
Oh, Yahoo, you got me again.
Had to change it.
But like in the early days, it was like, what? You mean I don't need to get out an atlas?
Yeah. Well, fuck, you remember printing off directions?
That's what I'm talking about.
no,
Those are the
printing off
Yahoo
Map
Maps I'm
Quest.
talking to. Yeah,
I used to call
Yahoo
all
Maps and
highways
MapQuest
31.
days.
All highways.
Like the 31 that takes you to Chicago. They're like,
So I'm
That's
half
it.
dyslexic. So when somebody would start rattling off state route numbers, I'd be like, you want me to take the 422 to the 327 to the 736? And they're like, what?
I'm
No.
like, if you notice it says Indiana, right? But then something's gonna pop off and it says Kokomo. You're gonna hit Kokomo.
Follow
Right.
that shit.
Straight on till morning, all right? Where the roads are gonna get worse. You know you're going the right way.
On some morning, she gave storybook directions. When you see the rainbow, you've gone too far.
Ohio. I was not tattooing yet. I worked at Victoria's Secret and I transferred stores. So we're living in like outside of Marion. So we're in like rural Ohio.
Roll.
Rural.
That's
And
here too.
So this truck driver that I know is like, here's the best directions. And this guy's known me since I was teeny tiny. So I knew he wouldn't steer me wrong. But here's the directions he gave me. He's like, okay, so you go this way. You're gonna come, it's gonna be the first 4-way stop you come to. Take a right. I'm like, okay. He's like, you take that. You see these big, beautiful Victorian homes. You'll know them when you see them. Take a left. He's like, and he gives me directions like this the whole way. He's like,
That's
"Now
how I
there's
would
gonna
direct
be
you
this little
places."
Cemetery, right there is 61, and that's gonna take you to the interstate. So, 529 and 61, I'm telling you, the back
Yep,
way
yep,
to
yep,
go.
yep.
And so, but anyways, if he would have been like, take first, you gotta take 23 to 98.
Lost.
Then you gotta take 529 to 61 and take 61 to 71 to 270 to Morse.
No.
But he gave me the landmark, so it was like, oh, there's the Victorian homes. That is definitely them. Turn left. Perfect.
I remember getting instructions like, the big boy, drive the big boy, the street after that, turn right, where the rallies is. Okay, drive
That's
past
me
that
too.
rallies and there's that Dairy Queen.
You got
It's
food
like 4 or
poisoning.
5. Yeah, you
Yeah.
yacked at that one. It was
Yeah.
go past that, turn left by the Kroger and you're there.
This is still my back way to go. If it's like during rush hour or if there's like bad weather or anything like that. I'm gonna go 5 miles out of my way to take this rural off the beaten path way because I know I can go at my own pace. I know the odds of me running into somebody else is very slim.
You
Oh,
got
you're
my
telling me you
problem.
didn't jiggle my microphone.
Clapton.
My jiggly.
Nope. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. I knew, but I wasn't ready. She said I clapped it.
Hmm,
Okay.
what do we plug this?
Okay.
Look at this. I have a tear. We're gonna mess up my fake lashes.
Hmm,
Look at this.
Let me see here.
How much for this? Not that deep. Not that deep.
I can't with you. So we welcome the
Any
Tech
better?
Demons back to Tattoo Collecting 101. How have you guys been?
May or may not know this, but we have an invisible co-host. Several of them.
Invisible
They're little
host, if you will.
Technology demons that jump all over the place. Sometimes
I'll
they
draw them
strike,
for you.
Is that
Would you like to know what they look
Uh-oh.
like?
Mr. Demons.
Snap it.
That was good. Good one.
Elbows.
Yeah.
Gather yourself.
I did. That was what this was. It was putting me back to me.
Bringing me here
So how you've been here steady now, what?
since March 1st.
March 1st. Man.
Is this better?
Oh yay. Did we kick that tech demon in the booty? Did you exercise the demon?
This demon has been
Yoga.
exercised.
He did
The
yoga.
Pilates.
He did yoga. Just stretch.
He was a little
You
grumpy.
know what? Let me send this.
This is the blunt wrapping song.
I need a bone wrapping song.
I am going
It's
to
on
send that She-Ra piece I was talking about earlier that I did on Eric. It might take. me a
Oh,
minute to find
did
a
we
good
figure out
photo.
linking things?
What do you mean linking
Well,
things?
last time we couldn't share stuff because things weren't shareable. We were like, nah, we can't do pictures.
I thought we just ran out of time last time.
Oh, that's fair too.
The time before, I think there was a problem. But I think we just ran out of time last time.
With Avery?
I can't remember.
Did Fawn tell you I started trying to figure out how to tattoo?
No. It's exciting.
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like,
Exciting.
it's kind of like color.
Exciting.
It's like color.
Yeah, it is like coloring. It's like,
It's a good time. I can't paint or draw or any of that stuff.
don't say it's, you don't say you can't.
I haven't taken the time
Yeah, there you
to be efficient at the skill.
There you go. I just like it when you talk about all my friends like that. You know what I mean?
I do. I hear you. Like,
Yeah, me
thank you. I need that in my life. But like, I at one point was supposed to learn to tattoo and never made it through that process.
Right.
So it's been fun. We've been fake skinning it up, and I think later we're gonna teach you some fruit.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's how we're gonna wrap the show up. We're gonna
Fruit
go up and
Tattoos.
I'll
Two
break
things.
away when we get to a comfortable spot and go set up some equipment for us. We're gonna invite Kyle up here and we're just gonna kind of go to town and see how great or awful we are at this.
Awful.
hmm.
I already know it's awful,
No.
but I
I
can
mean,
say
you're
I'm
playing
like,
around on fake skin, which I think is trickier than tattooing fruit.
I agree.
I think with the fruit, just run it slow. And honestly, this will be a super good exercise for like everybody's to see why it is a horrible idea to try to like tattoo at home or tattoo yourself. I just realized I killed our logo behind us.
Oh, no.
It's
What the hell,
okay.
Paul?
I
I'll
kinda
put it
like
back
his
up.
Colors though. They're kind of cute.
Kellen Schaub. He's like my favorite messy splatter, paint splatter artist.
If I wouldn't have already worked with skin, I would be very frustrated with fake stuff. But like knowing in the back of my head that this isn't
Real life.
this ain't real
Yeah.
life, it helps a lot.
I had never tattooed fake skin. I actually, my first day tattooing was they said go buy all these tattoo supplies. So the next time I came in, I had all my tattoo supplies and they had me tattoo one orange. And they said, yep, go ahead.
Have you
Go on,
tattooed fruit
boss.
since then?
I did 20 tattoos that day. Yep. And I was exhausted the next day. I had to take the day off. I didn't go in and I was shaking and like my whole body just felt like it was, I was so just like my anxiety was just up so high that like I just cried. But I loved it so much. I was like, I just want to do it again. But I was so stressed out. I was so stressed out. And I went back in. I was like, okay. I didn't know anything. I didn't know it was called a machine. I didn't know anything about it. It was a little street shop. I'm so lucky that I got to do it. Like,
Hells yeah.
very lucky. But it was awesome. I did that. And then every day after that, I tattooed from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. every single day. Every single day. And I got super burnt out.
Yeah.
But then I still loved it. So
See,
here we are.
I couldn't do anything from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m.
Oh, it's all I wanted to do. I was like, I lived on it. I lived on these little monsters. And then I had little crackers and Taco Bell. And I would just be like, let's get it. Let's go. I had $20 bangers. I was like lined up all day long. I was like, I don't care.
Get it.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Get it. That's the
Yeah.
beauty of a super busy street shop is you have the availability to do I don't want to say entry because I don't like that because I can't do it. But simpler designs and things that people are like, I just want my kid's name on my arm and the filler
Yeah.
and the smaller things.
Yeah.
And it's I managed a street shop for a blip of time and it was non-stop. Just like
It was at it from the time we opened up, we
Nice.
were lined up
Stop.
outside. It was in it was in Piqua.
okay,
And we were just lined up Piqua, Ohio.
okay,
It's close to like Sydney, Ohio, Troy, Ohio.
okay.
But it was like we were busy from the moment we opened. It was like nonstop. And we had tons of people. I think there was 12 of us in this tiny little place.
Jeez.
Yeah, packed in, just like lined up. And then we would share like beds and stuff and just we would tattoo out of these little foldy chairs. We were going all day long. It was crazy. But it made me really good at like flash days
Right.
because I had to get good at like those techniques quickly. Like I had to, because they wanted you to go fast. So now I'm learning how to slow down a little bit, which is awesome. But I've also learned how to like, I work a little bit with just like by
Right.
nature now.
Right.
But now slowing down the machine, I'm working even quicker, but more effectively, like Fawn was saying. It's fun.
I was skimming through the tattoo YouTube stuff the other day, just I sometimes like to see other people's setups more than I give a shit about what they're saying.
Yeah.
So I often will flip and listen to a couple minutes of whatever the search pulls up. And I
Mhm.
think that that's key for me too, is I don't specifically search for anything. I'm just putting tattoo and see what comes up.
Yeah.
And I was watching somebody that shares a very similar name to ours the other day, talking about running his machine at 11 and 12. And I
Oh,
was like, I don't know shit, but I don't think that's right.
a little high.
I mean, unless you're doing like incredibly soft black and gray where you want to have very minimal amounts of ink deposited, but with the way that I tattoo,
He was lining.
I want to put the maximum amount of ink in with the fewest amount of penetrations. But like, hey,
He was also
Really?
talking about
Mhm.
how much you should let your needle hang so you can float on your needle. I was like, that sounds like horrible advice.
That sounds exactly like how I was taught how to tattoo, honestly.
Yeah.
That's why like I was like all the way up. The speed was like fast, because they said, you move your hand fast, turn your machine up. And I was like, okay.
Mhm.
So I turned my machine
no,
up.
without thinking about how much time that needle actually spends in the skin
didn't
or how
have
much
that
ink
time
it's actually
before. Yeah.
depositing in each.
I wish that I would have been able to have, like, I'm very lucky for the way that I got in, but I think it would have been really cool to be able to sit down and have someone go, hey, man, here's all these different needles and here's what they do. And here's why I use them when I use them. And like, here's how it goes into your skin. And
To be
like,
fair, I think there are people who have been tattooing for years that can't tell you the science
Yeah.
behind the needles that they
Yeah.
use or the reasoning why.
Oh.
And it's funny because like I've worked enough shows to watch people buy needles and it's like, you really
What do you
need
use
that
that
and
for?
that and that and that. And sometimes I actually stop them and I'm like, hey, what kind of work are you doing? And like, I don't really share a lot of my work, but like I pride myself in being an incredibly versatile artist. Like there's a lot of different styles that I feel like I can work really successfully in. So like if it's a younger tattooer, it's very easy for me to be like, whoa, hold
yeah.
on. What you got going on there,
With all
this?
You little tater tot, what you got there?
With all these. And they'll tell me and I'll be like, so you can saturate faster if you do this, or you can be smoother if you do this, or you can, whatever their thing is. And they'll be like, how would you know sales are on? Like, first of all, yes. Second of all, let me show you my work.
That was funny on a couple levels. That got me deeper.
Ain't wrong.
Hey,
Tattoos I do. And like when it's a younger tattooer and they think because most of the time when you're dealing with a supply company at a convention, it's just like either somebody that works in the warehouse or a homie or somebody that works for the company somehow. Most of the time tattooers don't enjoy actually like doing sales kind of things and helping answer questions and troubleshoot and helping educate about products. But like I work retail before I tattooed. So like, it's very easy for me to like take something that I believe is good and helps me every day and say, hey, do your hands hurt? Guess what? Spend $1 a day on this and they won't hurt anymore. What? You say $1? Yep,
Mhm.
$1.
Yeah.
Like when it's that little of a solution or that little of a change that can make that big of a difference in somebody's daily work life or like the comfort and longevity of their hands. Or when I talk about our lining needles, like you can line beautifully with our needles. It's not because I'm
Mhm.
partial, it's really because it's what I use and like
Right.
They don't
line
get like
beautifully.
clogged up easy either. They're
Yeah.
so
So-
smooth.
Anyways, when I'm like talking to these other tattooers, it shows it's rare to have like an actual working tattooer that's like doing the kind of stuff that I do that takes the time to actually just talk to people because I
Right.
enjoy doing it. So anyways, when I show them what I do, they're like, oh, you do
Heard.
work like that. And you're telling me that I don't need all of these. I just need these 3 or 4 needles. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, but you can buy like 6 boxes of each if you want. Like
Yeah.
I recommend it. Go ahead.
I like to you don't spend money.
Yeah, don't buy needles that are inappropriate for the job. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, there are
24-inch paint rollers,
Mhm,
right?
mhm,
They're awesome for painting huge walls.
Mhm.
But would you paint your daughter's bedroom with that?
Now, me, yes. Would the average homie do that? Probably not.
He
And
said me,
then at the
yes,
same
it's gonna go
time-
fast.
6-inch paintbrush.
Probably. You know me, I'm pretty meticulous when I paint my flat walls.
Yeah, but like you use the appropriate
I do.
tool.
I get you. And it's one of those things too, like, if you've never been introduced to the correct tool, walk on any job site of any construction zone, art hat place, and just watch somebody that does their trade for a living and notice A, their tools are very specific. B, they don't use the same thing you use to do that at your house. C, look how much better they did it because they do it every day, right? So if you were never shown the specialty wrench to be able to get into the wall and turn the special bolt, you think you got to cut the wall open and then cut, you know what I mean? Like it's a whole different project to you.
You just need to find somebody with skinny little arms.
So being in the environment here at Red Tree is an extremely beneficial knowledge base, because not only do you have the supply company in the back door,
When you're
you've
very
got people
forgetful.
that designed the fucking product can explain it to you. I oftentimes am like, oh, I don't know shit about tattooing. And then I talk to people that do it for a living, and I'm like, what? Maybe, okay, hold on. I've seen this done a couple times and never like that. So, what?
My
So-
partner likes those forums. He's the worst about it. He does not tattoo. He does not. He does no intention of tattooing, but he follows those like tattoo advice pages. And it's very interesting because he'll be like, oh yeah, that's not right. And he'll like, give advice sometimes. And then he'll go to tell me about it and he'll be like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And this person said this. And I was like, that's not right. And he's like,
Did you even
"Oh."
look at their work
Well,
before you
then-
listened to their advice?
He's like, oh, well then ignore what I commented then, because it's not, and he would go to, and I was like, what? And he's like, I did maybe think that was right. So like part of it is not right, but this part, this is right. And I'm like, don't speak on tattoos. You do not tattoo, brother. Come on now. And he's just like, no. He just gets all sucked into it. It's like, he always knows our neighbors and he always knows the tea. Like we were moving out of one house and I had no idea that we even knew the neighbors. We had lived there
I didn't
for
know
a
you knew
year and I had no idea. So I was like, okay, cool. And the neighbors are like, oh, Maddie, yeah, it's really nice to meet you. Like came out and like, Harry, was talking about it. I was like, that's crazy.
I don't know.
Yeah, they talk and they get the mail, I guess. They're very cute. But yeah, he likes those forums. They'll go on there and I'm like, don't do that. But then also on those forums, those are so bad. That would be such a good idea. But then people get on there and they're so hateful and then they'll just spit knowledge at you that is not right. So then someone who has no idea and is actually looking for these answers is like, yeah, no, hell yeah, brother, I'm doing it just like that too. And I'm like, please don't. But I don't want to contribute to this because I'm
Well,
not,
Here's
but
the
it's
gig.
just yucky.
Let it happen. You know
Ugh.
why? Because that separates the herd from the elite.
Ugh.
So
That's fair. Sometimes
let
you just
this
gotta like look at the
reason-
crowd and be like,
That's why I'm not on
To
those
each their
pages,
own.
but he'll say it. And I'm like, oh God, no. And I'm just like watching all these things. And they're like, they have like all this lines of like this ink that I've definitely used that was just like not the move. And like, just like the crazy things in the background and like the thing, like the pictures, like people will show me. And
You
it's like,
You're gonna let somebody
the-
sell you a Porsche
ugh.
that's never driven one.
oh man,
Do you see? You know what I mean?
it gives me heartburn.
So you watch these guys and you see the shit they're putting out, and you're like, well, that makes sense why you bought that from Amazon then.
I'm gonna take us back a little bit. I
Okay.
have a friend who's we'll call him baby dad. Her baby dad would like talk cars with car guys and he'd be like, oh yeah, man, I've got a yada 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 with 18-inch wheels and I upgraded the exhaust to this, blah 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 blah. He's talking about these cars down to the specs and down to the details, and he starts talking about another car and they'll be talking about what they have and he'll be like, oh man, if I had that, this they'd get like way into this conversation before he would reveal to them that he was playing Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition.
Oh, they-
Like he
Trying
would
to ask
talk
girls.
about these, he would talk about these cars.
Got me halfway through.
he would talk about these cars as if they were real life, like on the 1-Up game with people who actually had like souped up, like lowered cars. And, we're talking early 2000s. So we're still in like the early Fast and Furious years where people had like,
That's
ground
funny as
effects
fuck.
and like car tatties. And
That's funny as
he
fuck.
was playing a video game, drinking Mountain Dew all night.
I get into bad situations with that because I get really excited when people get really excited about things. Like if you're like pumped about something I know nothing about, I'm like, yeah. And I'm like into it when you're talking about it, but I don't know anything
You're
about it.
green.
But I'm like, no, but not even just that. I'll be like
You're
asking
just
questions and
hyped on
stuff.
the
Yeah, yeah.
energy,
Right,
right?
but like, so like that, oh, rad, heard. And I just get really pumped that you're pumped about it. So then people will be like, you know about this too, because you're
Yeah.
excited. And then I'm like, oh no. So like always,
Oh,
always car
no.
guys. And like, I thought my car made windshield wiper fluid. Like I'm not the guy. And they'll be like, for real, that is a real thing. And I'm
You thought your car made windshield wiper fluid. It's like a byproduct.
okay, here's what happened. I was driving, making my way downtown. And someone was like, oh wow, your windshield's pretty yucky. And I was like, yeah, no, for sure. And I like reached out the window with my little sweatshirt that I had in the car for it. And I was like, and they're like, what is happening? And they're like, your windshield wipers are broken or something. And I was like, no, like the squishy stuff is gone. Like it's gone. Like it's just like it's not.
You didn't know how to refill it.
It
I
doesn't
thought
refill.
it was like clogged. I was like, it's clogged. Something. It's a 2001 Ford Focus held together by Faith Trust and Pixie Dust. I was like, it's fine. Things break. It's okay. So I was like, it is what it is. My friend was like, did you get new fluid for it? And I was like, what do you mean? And people had said some stupid shit to me before, like blinker fluid and shit. And I was like, fuck you. Like I'm not doing that. So I thought that's what it was.
So you're like, where would you even put fluid inside of a windshield wiper? First of all, it's a squeegee. Where does it even go?
Whatever. I thought it was rain or something. I don't know what I thought it was. I don't know. So I'm just like, it's broken, dude. And he was like, it's not probably. So we went to the place to get it fixed. And I was like, I need that windshield wiper fluid. And the lady was like, go grab it. And I was like, heard, I don't know what that is. I don't know. I just know I need it. And she's like, all right, cool. And then like she goes and gets me this big thing of it. And I was like, now what? Now what do we do?
You Google a lot of stuff.
And she was like, I mean, I was very sheltered. There's a lot of things
I
I was
wasn't
kind
mad
of
at it. I'm just like, you start Googling a lot of
so I
stuff.
was just kind of like, so what now? And the girl was like, well, I'm not going to do it for you, princess. And I was like, heard, rude. And she's like, I'm going to point to where it goes and you can do it yourself. And I was like, I would love that. So she like walks me outside. I was like, she's kind of a bitch. So she like walks me outside and she's like, there. And I was like, heard. And I like kept looking at her like, so she did help me, but I'm sure she was just like really annoyed by it. It was fine.
I bet she thought you were needy
Dumb.
until she realized
And I'm
you
just
were
like-
like, oh, this girl really doesn't know. See, I feel like I get the opposite.
I'm really good at
I'll
other
walk
stuff where I'm
into an
like,
auto
this is my
parts
thing.
store, and I will have, you will either done my homework and know exactly what I need down to like 2 or 3 alternative part numbers. You know what I mean? Like, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly my
I brought
problem.
you with me.
Look, I'll be like, let's just say I'm in an auto parts store I've never been in before. And mind you, my van is kind of old. I gotta put oil
Classic
in her
fun.
often. She's a classic.
Classic. You said
classic.
the wrong words.
She's classic. She's a specific vintage
Oh,
that
yeah.
I prefer. Anyways,
She purdy.
without fail, somebody's always like, can I help you find what you need? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just gotta find which one I'm looking for. And they'll be like, I'll tell them that I need 5W30. And they'll be like, this is our cheapest. And I'm like, no.
No, sir.
I need that high mileage. All synthetic. Thank you. So like, are you sure? And then I'll be like,
No.
my van
Explain
has
to me the
almost
difference.
270,000 miles on it. Yes, I need this good stuff. No, I can't put the cheap stuff in it. It's fine. This is what I need. And then they're like, how many miles? I'm like, see,
I was even panicked when I bought my car. I was like, I went to like I thought Viola was gonna die of natural causes and she did not. I threw her into a hole on black ice. I was like, bam, slammed in. And I was really surprised because she had a window held together by a track phone case I found in a Walmart parking lot. Like she was doing her best out here. And, like the entire underbody was completely rusted. I bought this for $200 when I started college. We've been on our way up. Okay. Started from the bottom. Okay. I bought this little car. It was really bad. So then after that, I was like, well, I need a car. I don't know what to do. I like had a panic. So I had like savings put back and I had a friend that was like, I'll go with you. We got this. And we went in and they were like, what do you want? I was like, whatever you think is good, you know? And they gave me my car. It's a
You
good car.
didn't have a list of like
Nope.
things you
I was
wanted?
just like, I'm panicked. And I had like bruises everywhere from I biffed it.
Mm.
Wear your seatbelt
I
is
just,
something I've learned that you should do.
In a small car, I always do. I do have to be honest. In my van, I feel like
I know
I
I
feel
wear
very secure.
but
My
I
van
know I
is like a
should.
tank though.
I did learn that you should do it. I just have not applied it.
Yeah, small car, I'd wear my seatbelt. When I was in the accident in the caddy, I was wearing my seatbelt. Anytime I'm playing in
bumped
the
my
snow or
bucket.
doing anything reckless, always seatbelt,
Mm.
right? And in a small car, I seatbelt. In my van, I'm probably 60-40.
If I legally am allowed
There
to
should be a hundo
stick a
though.
motor between my legs with no cage and no helmet and launch myself down the freeway,
The right.
I just
to.
don't think a strap with an airbag and a roll cage is less safe.
In tiny car, I definitely felt like I was nice and secured in the seat, but it like that seat was like a racing seat. So it was like secure. I was back.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in the van, like the way the seats are, the way the seat belts are.
I'm not like pro don't wear your seatbelt. I just personally do
you're talking to
not.
the guy that bought
Yeah.
the dog harness clip to be able to put into the seatbelt receiver to not hear the ding.
Did you?
Yeah, oh yeah, go to the car right now.
Mine just doesn't ding.
You know, I went older vehicles, so nothing dings anymore.
Mine's a newer one, but it just doesn't ding. Someone turned that off.
That
So,
was nice. of
very
them.
kind of them. The guy
That's-
before, and I think we would have been friends because there's a lot of burn marks in it. And I'm like, me too, dude. Like, I get it. It's cool.
hear you,
Yeah, yeah.
I hear you. Yeah.
This was your focus?
Huh?
Focus?
Yeah. Viola.
Beautiful.
I had one. Her name was Old Yeller. Actually, I think it was a him.
What year?
It was a 03. Is
I asked
yellow.
you, but I would not know the
hatchback.
difference. I don't know why I asked. I was just
They're the
curious.
same. The early
The
ones
same
are all
one
the
like the
same.
2001.
Mhm.
Okay, heard. Yeah.
Yep. I'd totally get another one. Little stick. Skirt, skirt, skirt.
See, I had a Hyundai Accent in the 01 vintage. And
01.
loved that fucking thing. Just like you're saying, little 4-banger fucking stick. You couldn't stick it in the snow. You could slide it around anything. I broke the emergency brake cable because Fast and Furious, baby. It was a
Mm,
blast. That car was so much fun to drive because if I hit something, you know how much I cared? Not at all.
I'm of the mindset that e-braking is cheating.
I need like an alignment really bad now because I keep hitting curves. It's really
But
bad
in
at it. I don't need
curves.
to. They jump out. I mean, they should make those softer.
As long as I go to the same mechanic,
They should be softer.
I'll take you and introduce you.
Please, that'd be really nice. Does anyone have a chiropractor?
Yeah, I
Thank
go
you.
3 times a week.
Stop. You want to go get the
Legit.
chiropractor? Go get some Indian food, man.
Tomorrow, I have an appointment at 10:30.
Do it tomorrow.
I got in an accident in January and have been going to the chiropractor 3 times a week since then.
Oh, excellent advice.
Yeah, I always stupid tow truck.
Oh, what a butthead.
No, I was sitting still. Wasn't my fault. I was just
No, not you.
minding my business. Just sitting there, trying to make money, being a hardworking guy. You're smack.
What time do you want to go? What time you going?
I already have to go.
What time you going? What time you want to get food?
I have to be there at 10:30. I don't know.
10:30?
Let's do this when we're not on the air so people don't stalk us.
Heard, yeah, no, I don't even want to even talk about it
Yep,
anyway. I don't even
yep,
like that.
But yep, I don't put business out. Yep.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out with my friend right now. I'm
That's the
stoned.
best. That's just like I only talk about stuff I did.
No, heard.
Here's where I'm gonna be.
Here's
Yeah.
yeah.
This time.
Like, you
Yeah, right. So do we need to talk about the time Kyle put Fawn's photo identification up on the Jumbotron?
What?
Yeah, it was a good
Yeah,
show.
it was his shining moment.
It was good.
Ask him about
It
it.
was a good show.
Oh, no.
He doesn't even still get red. He still gets red. Look at how red.
No,
Look how red he gets.
was it? No.
He did go in and like chop it out. Yeah, it's gone. But if you go to that episode, if you're watching and you see the cut out and you see me like, Kyle, I swear you'd think that it was something so like you could just let your imagination fill in anything like, oops, didn't mean to share that. And you know what everybody has on. I don't keep stuff like that on my devices.
Not on the
Not without a
desktop.
password.
Everybody would
I mean-
think. No, you can't have that stuff willy-nilly. I hand my devices to clients.
No. You know
Can't
what the
be
easiest way to
willy-nilly.
do is just keep your mind clean like Jesus intended. Fawn.
There's always room for the Holy Spirit. This is the holy smoke.
The holy
What?
smoke.
Holy smoke.
Holy smoke.
That was like in the 8th grade dance and they told you to leave room for Jesus. So you had to keep yourself away from each other.
Yeah, I liked that. That was nice. Yeah.
Jesus likes to twerk. He got there.
Did you say Jesus likes to twerk?
Yeah.
You would too, like
He
Buddy
would,
Christ.
Right. I'd let it happen.
Oh, man.
I'd hang out with him. Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah, for sure, man.
What's been going on in your tattoo world?
Doing a lot of fun, goofy stuff like I want to do, which is super nice. Starting to build my clientele here, which is cool. I am going back to visit April Genius. The 9th through the 13th, I'll be there. So,
Nice.
yeah, I'm excited.
You have those spots booked solid when you're going back to visit, or are you
Yeah,
taking it
usually.
easy? Nice.
Yeah.
There for quite a while, I was traveling up to Michigan. I was working here in Ohio, and I had a little kind of private tucked away studio up north. And I would usually schedule 4 or 5 days, and I'd work like 3. So I'd
Okay.
like work on a few homies, maybe a new project or 2, and then I'd like go out into the woods or like visit or
Go to the woods.
go to the woods.
Said it all creepy. Like, I don't know why, but
I didn't mean for it to sound creepy.
take it after.
It's just one of those things like when I would travel north, that was just something that I really look
Mhm.
forward to because, when it's like the trails and stuff that you grew up on, if you grew up in the woods, yeah, you always know those like the back of your hand, even
Right.
though they grow over and
Just fun
like the
spots.
scenery
Yeah.
changes. Like it's like, oh yeah, that's where I almost died in the
Yeah.
quicksand.
I was catching flack for taking LB backpacking from somebody the other day. And I was like, look, or my kid is 5, right?
Okay.
We back.
She has her own hammock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
like,
cute.
We do the damn thing,
That's-
right? So we're out there. We did it. It was chilly, but like she had overrated gear. She was hot. Like she was cool.
This is too many layers. Take it.
Oh, legit was like out of her sleeping bag when I woke her up in the morning. Anyway, they're giving me shit. And I'm like, I have hiked this trail literally at night in the rain with no gear. Like there's no way for me to be lost. There's a road like
Right.
Mhm.
like on either like I know exactly where I am, and they're looking at me like, yeah, right.
It's like camping in your backyard. You're like, I know where I'm going. I've
Right.
been hanging out here. Yeah.
It's my spot.
Yeah.
I didn't drive her out to the middle of nowhere and just hope,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, like it was really
This should be
disheartening. Like,
good.
you know me better than that. I don't put my kid at risk. Like,
Yeah.
you're 10 minutes from the car. Oh, baby, been there half a second and ran through them woods in the middle of the night. It would have been an issue. But like, really? Really? You think I
Yeah.
don't know better? Fucker. I was upset.
Silly.
Well,
I felt
felt
oppressed.
oppressed.
That's the right word.
Oppressed. Well,
Shamed.
oppressed.
Maybe shamed is the right word.
Oppressed.
He was
So
I'm
trying-
thinking Monty Python. And he's like, have you watched Monty Python?
Not in a long
Oh my
time.
goodness, we gotta
It's
watch
on
it.
what network is it on now? Is it on Prime? Is it on Hulu? Netflix?
I
It's
think
on one of
maybe
them.
Netflix has it.
Maybe it's on Netflix. It's on one of them. And I don't think I've actually sat down and watched
You
Monty
have to watch it. Even
Python.
the credits.
high
Even the
school.
credits are amazing.
I mean,
the whole
I've
beginning.
watched it so many times in high school,
Yeah.
but like I've smoked a lot of weed since
You
then.
gotta watch
See, I never
that one. You gotta watch Scott Pilgrim. You gotta watch
Never-
Tucker and Dale versus Evil. You gotta watch.
What else floats?
I never got
Movie
into the
box.
Monty Python because like I didn't get to watch it when I was a kid. So by the
What?
time like Monty Python,
Yeah.
any of that stuff. So like the super over the top hammy shit, like even now I don't
love it.
I don't get
It's so good.
because I don't have that like youth attachment to it. I don't have that like this made me laugh because it was silly way back then.
Some of it
Same
gets
with horror.
sillier
I
the
watched
older
it-
you
I
get.
watched it like when I was like maybe 18, I think.
Right.
So it wasn't, yeah. I mean, I just love it. I just think it's so goofy. Immediately, like the coconuts, I was goofing. Yeah, it's so funny.
Same with like horror films. Like by time I was watching that stuff as an adult, I was like the CG, not CGI, but like the special effects and like the things were so outdated that you're like, this is what everybody's.
So
This is
jazzed
this,
about.
this is the hype, huh?
So on the opposite end of the spectrum, I, as a very young child, was able to watch like anything that I wanted. There were only a handful of things that were like off limits that like, I guess my parents didn't think I wasn't mature enough for.
My parents
Anyways,
fast forward through the
when I
kissing
was-
part, Dancing with the Wolves. Are you
When
fucking
I
kidding
was
me?
little, Freddy Krueger was my jam. Like
Right.
I liked Freddy
I love
Krueger
that.
as much as I liked gummy bears.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it.
And I really think it's because I saw through the gore and I saw to the art in
Right.
it. I saw to the hands that made it look gory at a young age. Like it's almost like the filter, there was like no, I never believed it. Do you know what I mean?
It was always a story. It was always a
Yeah,
production.
it was always like,
That's why I enjoyed the original Star Wars. Okay. I still can't tell you the fucking plot, but the fact that they made the little model fly through the room and like that's what made that cool to me. It wasn't the storyline. It was that's a dude in a costume
yeah, it was
and
like,
that's a puppet.
well,
And did you see that zip line? Like
that's
that's
a guy that looks like he got burned up in a boiler.
and you're trying to
Perfect.
figure out how that. So when we took that turn to everything being perfectly computer animated, it pulled the story out of it for me.
Mhm.
It took the theater aspect out of it for me. That's why I'm not super media based because it's also in my brain fucking fake now.
An artist that I mention all the time is Rick Baker. He does like costume design.
Yeah.
He did Harry. He made Harry and Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. He's done all kinds of monsters. He made the Ewoks for Star Wars. He's just made all kinds of movie monsters. But anyways, like little on up, like I knew who he was and I knew that this was a thing. Like I remember seeing like behind the scenes to all kinds of things at an early age and I could see how like animators did things. I could
Right.
see how like these like the prosthesis would be made to make characters. I could see like how the
He has
Jim
the fake
Henson
nose,
characters were
yeah.
sculpted and made out of foam and like the different
Yeah.
materials that were used. So I think at an early age, there was definitely this level of fantasy that was there, but I knew it was fantasy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it was never scary to me. Like I could watch gore and horror and it never bothered me. It never scared me. I never had nightmares from it or anything because I saw that it like I could
You
see
knew
through
was
it.
fake.
Yeah, I could see through it. And it would be like, oh, but it looks so real, you know, right? And I would still know that it was fake.
See, I always loved the production of it, like the idea of like people were acting that out and like
Mhm.
that guy actually swung from that whatever it was, and it was like to pull the further we got away from that, the less enticing. That's why now I couldn't tell you the last time I went to a theater. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
how many times have you been at the house for like 4 hours and we're like, oh yeah, see, we could music maybe, I mean, like because
It'll be
It's
like
just not-
music or like King of the Hill.
yeah, it's just something on quiet rumbling in the background.
Mhm.
I've never been really super media driven.
You and I usually don't have very many long pauses, so we need a lot of background noise.
No, we're pretty good.
My ADHD needs
with
that background noise, but like while I'm talking to people, like I like to have something on like Bob's Burgers goes on all the time. I like to have it on in the background while I'm like doing other
Just
things just to kind of like,
Fill
I don't
that
know.
space.
Yeah, my brain needs it. it just needs other chaos going on.
Have you ever been in a situation where there's like 4 people sitting around talking and there's like 2 or 3 different conversations going on at the same time, but everybody's ADHD enough that they're all keeping up with all of the
A lot of
conversations?
those, yeah.
Yeah, it's
absolutely.
tough.
Like sometimes it,
I'm there.
I know, but
sometimes
like,
I forget that not everybody's like that.
And then
Like
I'll go, oh, wait.
earlier in the show, for instance, I'm finishing a thought and you guys were 3 steps ahead on the next thought. And it wasn't like rude or anything. It was just like we were carrying, like our brains are all like intermixing the conversation, and it's gotta be like chaos to listen to sometimes, but it's just because like natural conversation happens like
Just
that
flows.
sometimes, where like we're all kind of listening in and sharing the same thing, and we're all dancing around and we're all paying attention to one another. It's not
um,
not all people can keep up with a conversation like that. Like I know people that just are like, I'm out.
Yep.
I'm overwhelmed.
I can't keep up with this. This is too many.
Leah's like that. So if there's a bunch of people talking in a room, she's just like,
Well,
uh-huh. What? Huh? What? Like, cause she's trying to drown everybody else out and focus. And like, I don't know.
Do you remember the other day when we were having art night? I'm sitting over here, I'm minding my own business and carrying on with like 2 conversations at the same time. And I hear Maddie all the way over at the smoking area say my name like through the crowd. And she's like, I see her like, "You heard me?"
yeah, I said, what? I was like,
You ever
how
do
did
the
you
whisper
hear
trick?
me?
Oh, you guys, okay. So the easiest way to get someone's attention in a crowded room is to whisper. So everybody's talking, and when you're in a loud conversation, everybody talks at this higher frequency and it's bellowing, right?
Mhm.
So you can hear me when I talk low. You know. what
Oh,
I'm saying. We're
okay,
10 feet
okay.
apart. You will hear me through the gaps.
And
I
it
don't know if
makes
the
more,
microphone picked up.
it
that,
makes
but,
more
like,
sense for the mouth to pick up what you're saying if you're
yeah,
just.
just slow it way down and be like, hey, so do you want to go outside and smoke? That's a bar trick. Like, so I used to work at the Rock Club, right? It was 9,000 decibels all the time. We used to wear ear protection underneath and then tie bandanas around our heads, especially when the music was shitty. And then like, because it was live music fucking
Yeah.
6 nights a week. Like,
Mhm.
Right.
so not all bands form at the same quality. So like, whoo,
It's not always the vibe.
sometimes we
Some
were
of them are a
grateful.
little heavy on the cymbal and snare, huh?
Some of them just sucked. I mean, art is art and it's subjective and everybody has a value and a view. Some didn't always agree with my ears. That's all I'm saying.
Some people like to be out of tone on purpose.
That's their gig. You know
Off
what? Not
pitch.
mine. That's why like people get offended when you say like, oh, I don't like that art. I don't care what art it is. You're allowed to not like something. You're allowed to be like, that sucks. That's not my jam. I'm happy you're happy doing it. And I'm proud of what you do and you can do you. Don't hate on the person, but like, that's not me. I'll never say that to somebody's face, but you're allowed to not like stuff. I hate when everybody's like, oh, that's great. That's great. And you're like, really? That's your jam, huh? Clean cut soccer mom. You really love that demonic painting? Or yeah, mhm. That's your shit. That 666 upside down cross, huh? Yeah, okay. You get my drift. So like that's art is supposed to be controversial. Art is supposed to invoke feeling. It's supposed to invoke something. And it's not the same in everybody. And that's why it's so vast and so different. You don't have to be afraid to not like something.
A lot of people are confused about the tattoos that people get from me. So we just do some just big old goofball shit,
Get it.
you know, like, I did a alien that was like abducting a big cheeseburger that like the cheeseburger patty looked like a hamburger, like it was like the cow. And then the spots were ketchup and mustard. I did send that already. The spots were ketchup and mustard. It's really cute. But I've had people say stuff like, why would anyone ever want that on them? You know, and like
Because
for me, I'm
they
like, oh,
are-
I dig that, you know, but it's like you said, like the art is just like some people are just like, yeah, I like it, but I don't think that I would want to get some big goofball thing on me like that.
The broader the spectrum.
Yeah.
The broader the spectrum, you know what I mean? Like, so the more people you introduce even a simple concept to, there's always going to be haters, and
Mhm.
that's okay. That's why like a lot of people, even in product design, they're like, oh, I would never
Yeah.
use this, but I see the use for it. And that's the difference. Nope.
Oh, they did.
Oh.
I thought they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
send.
I don't know if it's gonna let me open them from this link, but we'll see. You guys didn't have to stop talking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got.
We all ADD into the screen, like, what?
Is it playing?
Is there a screen movement?
Kyle,
Okay.
I was just gonna, do you wanna maybe screen share her page? And you would probably
Yeah, they're
pull
all,
up the one
they
she's
should all be
talking
on there,
about?
except for my new one, but that one's on there.
I guess
for
I
sure.
could too.
There's a video of it on there. It looks better like that because it does wrap her arm, so it's kind of hard to see. She won it in one of my tattoo giveaways.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought that was on your
Talk about
giveaway
your
poster.
Talk about your giveaways.
Oh, I did a tattoo giveaway on Instagram. Every once in a while, I just get really jazzed to see what everyone else wants to do. So I have everybody put just their goofiest ideas on this post, and then I pick out whichever one tickles my brain just right, and then we do a cool project together.
Love
It's
it.
usually like $500. So like
Love it.
a good medium sized color piece for me, like, you know, yeah.
That's
So,
rad.
It's fun. We just did one. I just actually did the tattoo today. I sent that one too. I can send it again. It is a bunny rabbit. She said she wanted a rabbit with a gun or a carrot gun. So I did
There
a
it is.
rabbit holding this big carrot, and then the shells are little jelly beans
Well,
like coming out the back.
Yeah.
They're very cute. Let me send it again.
so my kid asked me what Easter was about, and it took everything in me to tell her that it wasn't about a pagan ritual of breeding to have kids to sacrifice to horse. And like, I was like, chocolate bunnies
Yeah,
and
jelly beans.
jelly beans.
Did those ones send?
Well, he's got your cow
Okay.
UFO pulled up.
Actually, I'm so sorry. But
That's okay. They're coming through now.
thanks.
There we go. That's the one you just
Carrot
did today.
Bunny.
Yeah.
Carrot gun bunny.
Do you want to screen share it, Kyle, or do you want me to? Okay.
I did these cute pickles the other day.
I saw that. Okay, so I saw something the other day that was somebody took cheddar cheese on one of those Blackstone grills,
Yeah.
right? And just laid it down. And then they took pickle slices and they cut spears in like quarters again. So they made them a little smaller, right? And they laid them out on top of this cheese, right? And then they took a motherfucking corn dog,
Sounds
And
like
we're
a
like-
dog.
roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it, and rolled this cheese pickle concoction on the outside of this cornbread.
Did
And
they
mine,
then dip it?
they probably did, but I had to turn it off
Wanna-
after that.
You wanna join us
I
For a moment,
already had hot dog in
I'll
me.
scoot over.
I actually need to take a 30-second break. He can take
Swap
my
out?
seat for a minute. Oh, he denied my seat. I still have.
Denied.
It's okay.
Uno momento, por favor.
Miss you already, buddy. Just the two of us.
Do, 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 do. Yeah, I can't believe all the chit chat today. It's been an incredibly talkative, active,
Good
busy
energy
studio.
today.
Yeah. Man, I'm still like just delightfully surprised at how cool my clients were that I met today. When it's somebody like random off Instagram and it's last minute and it's one of those like, I do have a few days coming up and yes, I could squeeze it in and it's little. Oh, what am I getting myself into? You know,
Yeah.
how sometimes the ones that kind of go outside of your scheduling system
Mhm.
end up being the squeakiest wheels but at the same time, sometimes they end up being
So
the
cool.
coolest client and it
work,
just
too.
happened to line up
Yeah.
just right. And it's funny because they got here and I didn't know him. Like we literally just met through Instagram, but as
Yeah.
it turns out, we had a lot of mutual acquaintances back up in Marion. So like right there, that made it comfortable. But then once I realized like how many of the similar things we were into, and it just made like, I just kind of like cracked a joke about quantum physics and he like took it and ran with it. And like, I think we realized like in that moment, like,
Okay.
oh, we're both
We're
really
both
on
those
that level.
people, yeah.
So
That's cool.
It's just funny how like the ice broke to such a level in such a short time that like, okay, this is gonna be a fun couple to work on.
And he
So-
was so ready to like dedicate whatever. He's like, let's go right now. We could just knock it out.
Yeah, you were standing right there and
Yeah.
kind of like involved while we were consulting together,
Yeah.
but you could see how just organically that idea came together and
yeah.
how excited he was. And it's like, yeah, let's just like combine this with this and this and like, but I had been talking to them all day to
Mhm.
come to that,
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's just do this
That's
and
so
this.
cool.
And, you know, we talked about potential ideas for the lower arm even later on. That's why it
Yeah.
was like, not that you said you want this to be a full sleeve,
Well,
but
like,
like,
but also once you get it, he's gonna be like, oh yeah, let's
Mhm.
go.
yeah. So that makes me feel pretty
That's really cool.
pretty stoked that sometimes, everything in you business wise says don't go out of the way for people, but sometimes like intuition says just go ahead and
Yeah.
go out of the way for this person this time and it'll be worth it. And sometimes it's not, but sometimes it really is,
Yeah.
Yep.
being worthwhile to go out of your way for people. Like sometimes it's not.
a tough
Sometimes,
one for me.
sometimes it's the worst.
I'm a little
Like,
bitter on people
somebody,
right now.
somebody will take advantage to the nth degree. And then other times, like it's just a treat, a beautiful relationship has started, beautiful clients, like whatever. Like sometimes when you just go a little bit out of the way, it's like, okay, that was worthwhile. And like my day's better, their day's better. The whole energy of everybody around us seemed to be better today. So
I will say that in general, I am generally fuck the majority of people. They don't vibe with me, but I've had some very exceptionally good experiences with customer service here in the past few days.
Mhm.
And normally, my luck is crap
Mhm.
when it comes to that kind of stuff. And it was very refreshing to just be like, oh, you're going to just handle the, oh, I was ready to fucking work you. Okay.
it's funny. These are littler examples, but so my favorite fragrance became discontinued
Mhm.
and I'm down to like the last itsy bitsy spritz of it.
What is
So it's a Burberry fragrance
What is it?
called Burberry Sport.
Okay.
But anyways, so there's this new fragrance. It smells remarkably similar to it. But so I like shopping for fragrances at Macy's. I know there are better places. It's all matter of opinion, but I like fragrances too. Okay. So like one of the few things that like I do like designer fragrances. I will look homeless, but smell
That's-
designer. So anyways, there were two sales ladies that greeted me and I know how the retail thing works. I've done this. But two ladies greeted me and the one kind of like took over and was helping me and she like asked me just a couple of questions and I gave her just a couple of answers and she actually listened, Ben. She asked like what I was
What?
looking for and I was like, this is what I've been wearing for years. It's my favorite, but it's recently been discontinued. I would love something similar, maybe similar base, yada, yada. I was like, I like to wear a light perfume, but a lot of it. And she was like, okay. And like every fragrance she showed me was a home run. And it was like, I actually like, instead of like just being bombarded with the new everything that was not what I described
Mhm.
whatsoever. she's
See,
actually
that's
showing
my
me
experience. So
like,
anytime I go shopping for anything, it's because the thing I used to buy doesn't exist anymore. The boot that I want, they don't make. The shirt that I love is no longer. That is my life. Because when they make quality things, they don't have resale value because people own them forever, right?
Mhm.
Well, I'm to that point where the things that I bought a long time ago that were quality are now on the end of their life, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, this is what I want. And they're like, well, that's pretty, have you seen? And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about what you're about to say. This is what I want. Can we at least start here?
Mhm.
And then give me an argument for something different. And I'm fine with that. But like 9 times out of 10, the chances are I've done more research on this specific product than you have on your entire job.
Then I
So,
go,
like,
then I go to the Buckle. I wanted to get a fragrance and then I wanted to get 2 new pairs of jeans because I'm hard on my clothes and I need 2 new pairs of
Get it,
jeans. Like
girl.
it was on my list. I'm not one to go shopping just because. So go to the Buckle because like they have the ones that are comfortable for me, even though they're an arm and a leg.
Oh.
Long story short, sales girl comes up, asks me what I'm looking for. I tell her the cut I like. I tell her what size I need. And she's like, oh, you know exactly what you need then. Let me know if you need any help. She comes back a few minutes later. She's like, are you doing okay? Are there certain washes that you prefer? And I was like, I like dark washes. She was like, excellent. Let me know if you need help finding anything specific. And she gets me a fitting.
Aw.
Like, it was just like the perfect salespeople.
Which one were you at?
Not pushy. I was at Polaris of all places.
You know, what's funny. That's what
Hmm.
Leah's daughter worked.
Hmm.
That particular store.
Well,
and
the
she
other
says it's
thing
like
that
that. She loves it.
happened, you know, so
Works at that store. That's funny.
there are not things that I'm compulsive about, but like folding clothes is one of those things where like, if you're gonna do it right or don't bother doing it. So I
Yeah.
will leave my clothes in a basket or they're folded perfect. There's no in between
I live in
at all.
baskets.
You need a basket for me.
So anyways, as
the
I'm
way-
like digging through these piles, and again, I worked retail, so I know how the sizes are arranged. I know how to do. I know where things should be according to the systems, you know. And then as I'd like look at things, I'd fold them back up perfect, tuck them away and move to the next one. And she's like, you're really good at that. I was like, folding? She's like, do you need a job? I was like,
Oh, sweetie.
I've put my years in on the retail game. And she was like, oh, okay. She's like, well, we're looking for an assistant manager. It's like, I look at my little sister who I'm there with. I was like, Sarah,
Do you know how to fold as well as I do?
she does. We grew up with the same compulsive mother.
Nah.
You got it.
Yeah.
I would never
You know
have
how
expected
like,
that from
they
your
have
mom.
the boards and you can like just put it in the shirt and wrap around
Yeah.
it and fold real quick with the
Uh-huh.
board as cheek.
Uh-huh.
That'll slow me down. Get that board out of here. The other thing is we
I worked at a dry cleaner. Hit me with it, girl.
arms too, so it makes it easy. It's just it's grabbing it at the perfect point on
the
the
pinch
shoulders.
points.
It's the only trick is
It-
you got to grab the right seam
gotta
on
have
the
that
shoulder.
twist.
Doesn't make sense.
I'm like at the
That seems
I'm
weird.
like the most precise slob I know.
That seems weird. I don't know. I don't know. I
I'm the
feel like
opposite.
You do a job that like maybe you would be like super. That's weird.
I don't know.
I don't know. You should look into it.
Find something that fits into that.
I'm really good
Yeah.
at making a mess though.
Yeah.
If there was like an award, like I like things to be tidy. I just don't like doing that. Like I'm very like, yay, this room is clean. This makes me happy. But then like I will destroy it and walk away.
Hmm.
Like, oh, I just cleaned the kitchen and it looks great and it'll last for 6 hours. And then I'll cook and every dish is dirty and the sink is piled full of dishes. And
I'm
I'm like,
overwhelmed by it. I want to go to bed.
Deuce.
Yeah. I'm the same way.
and I fed myself.
And then the next day I'm like, I
I
have
don't
to, like,
want
go
to
do
do this. Yep. Wash, rinse, repeat. Life.
It's funny the things that I am incredibly like carefree about and then things that like absolutely need to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I don't have to wash my dishes every night. I live alone. I like it takes me a few days to make a sink full of dishes. So like,
Let it ride.
yeah, basically like, yeah, like I'm not inconveniencing anybody or anything. I think that would be the variable. Like if somebody was inconvenienced by my mess, but when you open my cabinets, everything's faced perfectly, labels out. Like everything's in perfect rows. Like you're not gonna see a tomato soup hiding behind my clam chowder. It's not gonna happen. It's gonna be
Same.
in its spot in the row where it belongs. All of my vegetables also. Like I like to be able to open it at a glance, see what's there. It'd be even better if I didn't have doors at all.
And
Tell
that's
you
why
what.
I
Like,
don't.
this big
Glass
cubby
ones.
hole. I like
That's
cubby holes.
why
That could be
I
cute.
don't cook.
My partner's the kitchen person. Like
You
he likes
know?
he like that's his space. So like I'll just kind of let him do him.
I-
But
I love to cook,
Yeah.
but I don't want to do it incorrectly. There's a way. And if I can't do it that way, I don't want to fuck with it. Like, so if we're not going to take the time and do the extra to do it the right way, like I'm not making eggs Benedict till I can make a fucking Flamin' Hollandaise type
Yeah.
of situation.
As
just-
I like tattoo that process, there are some things about my tattoo process that are incredibly tidy. And there are some things about my tattoo process that are incredibly messy. Like the person that I'm working on, they are going to just look like ink piled up all over them. Little, you know how the Bounty now pills? Yeah, that's the stuff.
Okay, it's on its way.
That's the ticket. Oh, you can't be buying me fragrances.
It's already done.
That's so funny.
And if you need a discount on jeans, Brooklyn works at that buckle.
I believe that's who sold me my pants.
Really?
I think so. It's kind of pocket size.
No. No,
I think it was a Brooklyn. I'll have to look at my
it's
receipt.
just funny.
It's a small
I'm
world.
just saying.
It goes to say Columbus is not that small of a city or that large of a city.
No,
Like
it's not.
everybody, we talk about like, you know, degrees of separation. It's like 2.5 here, maybe.
I love doing that with people because they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I hang out with," and I'm like, "Oh, so you
Like-
know," and then you know, and then you know. Did you know this part? Okay.
She's not even from
I-
here.
I
And
rate
we've
your
got
level
like
of cool.
37 connections already.
Hmm?
I said, you're not even from here. And we've got like 37 connections of like people who know people that we know. And
It's so weird too.
Mhm. So if it's a
That's
funny
how it
thing,
was with Adam when he came back. He was talking, we were both talking about how like Indiana's really strict about weed. And we're like, yeah. And we're both like spitting out all these facts about like their weed laws. And then we're both like, where are you from? We're both like, Kokomo. We're like, oh shit. Here we go.
But it's funny.
It's super cool.
Yep.
Ye-
But,
I
like,
got invited to a bar the other night. I'm like, "Oh, so you know Stephanie and Brian?" Brian's the owner, Stephanie's the bar manager, and they're like, "How do you? Wait, what? Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Sure, let me know. I'll show up. I guess." It's my favorite because that's Columbus to a T.
You guys want to jump
a
into
T.
some of the shenanigans I've been dropping to the grams over the last
Show me some
few
shenanigans.
weeks? Let's see.
Show me what you got.
Let me find where we were. Oh, Got my She-Ra from the other day. You guys want to talk about that now? Or let's talk about some shenanigans first.
What's
All right, let
What's that?
me.
that?
I'm so out of practice.
Come on,
I'm trying to
fun.
screen share. Hold on, let me do the things. Here we go. Do this. Share sound.
Dude,
Boom.
because yeah, in the middle sucks.
Well, I like the left is always the
Mhm.
pass.
Mhm,
That was instilled in me. So now this way I'm like,
mhm, mhm. So here's the trick.
yeah, anyway.
After the first one, it doesn't matter.
Oops.
We will all be stoned. I promise. So like,
Which one are we on? 3?
it doesn't matter.
Oh, where's
Is
this
it a
gonna take us?
race?
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. There's no race. No one's keeping. Oh, that's weird, but okay.
Right back with more Laverne and Shirley.
What happened?
But I want it now.
We don't keep track. The judge is the same.
There's no
Oops.
judgment,
We'll
right?
be right
Not by
back with
us.
more Laverne and Shirley. But I want it
Well,
Have you
Yeah.
ever
now.
experienced
We'll be
this?
right back with more Laverne and Shirley. But I want it now.
Yeah, that was bad.
When they have to wait an hour. That's what it says. When
I can't see
when
the screen.
you tell a walk-in they have to wait an hour to get tattooed. I
Oh,
wrote it down.
Jesus.
Have you ever seen that?
I remember telling people, okay, so thanks. Yes, we did open at noon. You're right. Do you see these 12 other people here that are in front of you? They're all about to sit down for tattoos, right? So that means your earliest availability is going to be about in an hour and a half if you want to deal with that gentleman. If you want to deal with that gentleman, his tattoo is going to take him about 4 hours. And yes, come back after dinner. That would be great. And their mind would just be blown. Like,
you mean I can do it right now?
what do you mean?
Tell
Like,
them to stop
I'm
doing it.
here at noon. I want it tattooed at noon. Bruh. Make me do math.
I always loved it because I was really good at the crowd work. You know what I mean? So I'd have people lined up sitting in the lobby like, hey, and I come out and be like, want a stretch break? Let's all stretch our back. You know? And they'd be like, you know, so I'd have all these people. It was great. I loved it because I want people to be hyped up about it. I'm like, listen, you could totally leave if you want to. That's allowed. Or like you can wait a little bit. I'm gonna give you a really cool tattoo. And then you're gonna like it and we're gonna have a really good time. So like if you want to leave, like do that. I'll tell you someone else you could probably try, but they're also not gonna have time today.
One of the things that I always, I don't know if it necessarily frustrated me because I always just looked at it like it is what it is. And that's it. Like I can't change it because you're going to get the same treatment. But when I would try to accommodate like multiple appointments a day, or when I try to like schedule things back to back to back to back, it like inevitably, just because like once I have the idea, it's like, okay, yeah, that's going to take me 25 minutes. But once we sit down, it's like, oh, but what if we add this, this, and this? Now that little tiny tattoo is turned into an hour and a half tattoo, and I've already got the person coming because I like I started at 1, now I'm working till 2:30. My 2 o'clock's already waiting for me. So I don't start my 2 o'clock until 3, and my
Yep.
3 o'clock is there already. So you know what I mean? So there was like inevitably, I had an incredibly comfortable waiting room, and I had all kinds of DVDs and like it was equipped. I had a fish tank. Like it was just inevitable that you were gonna wait. So if you were gonna wait, there was always fresh coffee. It was right next to I had my coffee station right next to my TV station. I kept my refrigerator stocked with all the bevies. Like it was just one of those like this
The shop
this
there
isn't
was
gonna
2
be
bag
on
of chips.
schedule. And well, I just
Using them
I feel like the nice thing was when I'd like step into my waiting area and I'd be like, hey, I'm behind schedule, but like when it's your turn, you're gonna get the same time and attention. Just
Right.
like be patient. You know, we did have good food just up the road. We could, you know, everything was within just a few minutes. So I feel like there were very few times that people got impatient. Like I just started telling people, set your whole day aside.
Yeah.
Just set your whole day aside when you're getting tattooed, and you won't have to worry about anything. Like,
You're paying a lot too, so it should be an experience that doesn't feel rushed. Like, I don't want you to
Yeah.
feel like I'm trying to like push you. So I like that too. I know that a lot of people do like one client a day
Mhm.
or, and I think I'm leaning more towards that now just because unless it's like an early morning and I have a late evening, which I don't mind.
Mhm.
Um,
Just-
oh, thanks. But I don't know. I just feel like I want you to be able to have a good experience. We can take our time. If you want to, take a minute to get food, if we get into a conversation, like, I don't want you to feel like you're rushed.
yeah, it's nice when you just have the whole day set aside too, because then nobody's watching the clock. You're actually
Right,
like
you get it
dealing with
have it-
like,
yeah,
okay, like every couple of hours, we need to take breaks. We need to stretch out. We need to smoke. It all goes hand in hand. But like, once you've committed to that project, it just takes as long as it takes. And
Right.
that's what I meant earlier when I said it just is what it is. Because like once you've committed to this project, you want to do the very best you can do. You
Right.
don't want your client to walk away and be like, oh, they were supposed to add this, this, and this, but there was somebody waiting. So
Right.
they rushed
didn't
it.
it? Yeah.
Right.
You know, you could word that as nicely as you want, but nobody wants to feel like their tattoo was rushed because somebody was waiting.
right.
Everybody wants to feel like their tattoo is worthy of your time because they're carrying it with them forever. Nobody wants to feel like they've got a rush job.
Well, that's
So-
why I've got a homie only policy, because if you got a shit going on that day, I like being the person who's like, bro, I will catch you up another day.
Yeah.
Let me ease that schedule. Like, and I don't ever want it to be a pressure. I don't want to ever feel like you were obligated to create.
Yeah.
Obligation to create is a weird. If you handed me an instrument and were like, you have to play, I'd be like, but
But if it's just sitting there and you're like,
take it with a little bit, kick it out. So-
grab this and
so-
noodle around.
It's that pressure to perform that, and I know you guys do this all day, every day, and it's a different situation. But like when you're forced, especially in that street stop situation, when the next person's like, okay, yeah, I want that same dove that you just did, or
You start to feel like a dance monkey.
yeah,
You ever hear that song, Tones and I?
Yeah.
Sometimes it does kind of feel like that. Like like I've definitely had moments of burnout where it's like, I just can't do.
how about
another
we
cut
do
run,
something cool
or
instead?
I
I
can't do
mean,
another pocket watch, or I
Those
can't
shops
do
make
another
you,
line.
like, they
or I
make you do
can't
all of them.
I can't.
Mhm.
There for a while, it was like I can't do another 5 stars.
Yeah.
Do you remember when 5-star chick was a thing? I literally cannot tell you how
Remember
many
the chick?
women I put 5 stars on because they were
no
a
feathers,
5 stars.
no fleeting foul. You know,
No fleeting foul.
you know the fucking birds that flew. No feathers, no fleeting foul, and it was the
The puff ball. But you
Yeah.
know what's funny?
you literally had a sign.
This leads right into what I have to screen share right now. Are you
Yeah.
ready for this?
Bring it in.
Devin? It's
Bring it
like
in.
we're on the same wavelength. Oh, come on. Where are we? Want to screen share us?
Dance, monkey, dance,
Come
monkey, dance,
back.
monkey, wonk, wonk, wonk. Never see, never feel, never know the words.
Enough!
Can we add 5 more things to this
You
palm-sized
want my
tattoo?
head to explode in the name of all that is good and decent. No more for today.
Okay, so hear me out, right?
Enough!
I'm gonna need 4 roses with 5 different colors. I'm gonna need all the baby name all the way around. Can you do each script just a little bit different? Because they all write just like a little bit different. And I'm probably just gonna bring them in. They're like handwriting
Size
name.
by age.
You want
too.
this?
Okay, so then, and would you mind in the petals, go ahead and put their birthdays, and then I want to do gems that represent my dead family
Can we make that
members.
shit 3D?
And I would love if they look like stickers.
But I want it to be glittery.
Not
I want
3D.
you to use glitter.
Yeah,
ink.
3D and
Yeah.
realistic. Can you make that realistic
Realistic on a sticker.
on a sticker, please?
Yes.
Holographic.
Holographic, absolutely. And can you
Holographic.
use gold? Do
And
you have that UV ink?
that you ink.
Yeah, you got that because or the glow in the dark stuff.
Let me get that. So
Yeah,
I was
is it
at,
glitter ink.
I was literally the glitter ink. That's good. I literally had somebody the other day talking to me about how they wanted to do a UV tattoo, and they are not a serious collector. They don't have a bunch of tattoos. And I was like, you know what, bro? If that makes you fucking happy and you understand that it's not, you know what you're getting into, and it's not gonna last forever, and blah blah blah. If that make fucking run it, bro.
It can be dangerous.
I mean, life can be dangerous.
I don't
Did you drive here?
know.
I rode a scooter.
With all my elbow pads on and a helmet.
I'm proud of you for being
and
safe.
I
But you
have
get my
motorcycle gear on.
drifties, right?
The glasses.
You get my drift, right?
I guess so.
Life's dangerous.
Oh, I get.
I'm just saying, like, I'm a big fan of do what makes you happy. Am I gonna tell a serious collector to dedicate space to a fucking UV light tattoo and think that's gonna be the coolest thing? No, but if that makes you happy and you want a little trinket guy, run it.
This next thing I'm screen sharing right now
Oh,
says,
Harry
just
said
because
that
you
to
can
me.
buy it on Amazon doesn't mean you'll be able to use it.
That
Maybe,
gave me
and then he
heartburn, I
shows the
swear.
Dremel tool. Maybe next time use one of these.
Wow. He's just kind of
No.
bouncing around there, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going in.
Like he's like, it's upside down even though.
So hairy.
Do you think that's his own leg? It's gotta be his own legs,
Is that
right?
a dog?
Like
leg?
there's a foot
Actually-
right here.
Is
That's
it
a
a dog?
foot.
Yeah, it's the top of his leg.
I don't know.
I think no, it looks like a dog bone.
Okay.
Oh,
Thought it was a-
CGB.
the
So
Christmas
that
tree
must
or
be letters. He's making letters.
One more time.
Letters.
What is that one?
That's a C.
What-
that-
Yeah.
What's the
that-
top? No, it's the G. Is there a G? Is that an option?
It's
That's like a little hook on a C.
Uh-huh.
Obviously, it's a clean graffiti letter
Yeah,
pen.
it's
It's
gonna-
gonna probably have some sick
Oh.
fill.
Wait, where's
back
the
up.
top one
It's
though?
black.
Does it not
I
have?
bet there's gonna be a
Is
B
it a
next to it,
G?
like over here. I
Is it
bet there's
upside
gonna
down?
be.
You should
Yeah,
see
this
my-
would be like C.
You should see
And
my
then
upside
bubble.
down
G
pen?
would be here and then B. No, I think it would be right side up.
Okay.
You
I think
should
it
see
would
my
be right
bubble
side
letters.
up.
They're pretty. They're
Like,
pretty
look,
fire.
it's gonna be like a C like this,
So I'm gonna draw it. for
Can
you.
I draw what I think it looks like after you're done?
like that. I think that's what he's trying to do, but I think he tried to make it like a bubble. However, these things are permanent, kids. I think that's what he was trying. to
Look
do.
at him just.
Here's what my brain thought it was the first time.
Oh, in Austin Powers. The sequel with the
Yep.
rocket ship.
Yep.
You know it.
You.
You know it.
Unfortunately, in my lifetime, I have played musical accompaniment to a Austin Powers halftime show.
I thought it was like an ornament or something. Real weird.
I mean,
Kind of what I thought was happening.
I could.
Do you want me to draw what I thought it was?
Yeah.
No.
It's like a reverse Pictionary. Like we know what the answer is,
I
but this
thought
is
it was
where
kind of
our
like a
brain
Christmas
filled in the
ornament at
gap.
first, or like I was like, maybe it's like a keyhole. And I was like,
Maybe.
no, I think you were right. It was a C. Yeah, but what's the little?
That's what he did, not me. I was trying to be him.
Figure out what that little dongle is.
What's like a little accent to it, so you get a little
stairs.
fancy, it's a little body to it, a little whip.
Yeah, but I went to.
I didn't. I just.
No, I was just asking for.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm the wrong expert. It's not in my field. Sorry, I let you down. I feel like I let you down now. Like I really do, and I didn't mean to. I'm used to it. Oh. Sorry, you're cut so deep. I didn't mean to bleed on you. I want to see She-Ra.
Okay, hold on. I'm pull her up. Go. Why wouldn't it be big?
Well, sometimes you got to double click it first.
Well, I did. I single clicked it and I double clicked it.
Slow.
Times.
I'm just gonna change where my window is. That's what I'm gonna do.
Can you just zoom in with your
Yeah.
fingers? Like,
I wish
Zoomies,
that would be cool.
that'd be cool.
pinch.
Screen
pinch,
share,
zoom.
share, do the things, black screen. Womp.
Womp, womp, womp.
See where I liked it?
Oh,
You look at this thing, Ben.
that's
Can you
fantastic.
believe I did
He
that?
good. He
All in
keeps
one
his
session?
innocence.
Look at that bloody
You did
mouth.
that all in one session?
Yeah.
Is
poor
that what you
Eric.
just said?
Poor Eric. He's such a
Fun.
trooper about it though.
Fine.
It was a long day, but
Fine.
like
That's beautiful.
That's amazing.
Eric's a gangster, man. Like this. Sorry guys, I don't mean to make you sick. I don't know how many hours it was, but I was working on until like after 3.
See, the way that you twiddle your fingers means I feel like you have a rough estimate of how many hours it was. You didn't want to tell.
I don't.
You went, I
because
don't really know.
we take liberal breaks. He enjoys eating, so I definitely have
enjoys
snack breaks
eating.
when I work on him.
But
That's how it's
No,
gonna be.
he
Tattoo
look,
my
he
chest.
shows up prepared. He's like, "Hey, I just repeated your Chipotle order from last time. I hope that's
my
okay."
kind of people.
He shows up. He already had a burrito. He had 2 on deck, and he had a bowl for me and chips and guac.
What a sweetheart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's wonderful.
he is. A
He's
very nice
awesome.
guy.
I had a client like that the other day. She was one that just kind of popped up on my Instagram. Was like, hey, so I have these crazy cover-ups. If you want, or she popped up my emails. She's like, I got this crazy cover-up, man. Like, would you want to do it? It was so dark and so bad. It was so bad. And it was like just prime real estate. It was so bad. And we made it look super cool. It's
Oh, yeah.
completely covered up now, but she was so awesome while she was here. She's like, hey, do you want Starbucks? And I was a silly little goose and I didn't push like my order to submit. So then only hers came. then she
We
was
had
like-
a snafu like that on order that Derb placed a few days ago. Kyle neglected to hit
Well, I
send on
pushed
his.
Run that one.
This one?
Yes.
So, okay, this is all in good fun. Please, nobody be offended.
Oh, I didn't even think.
Yeah, this
This
is
is all in
hilarious though,
humor.
because this has
Yes.
been a running joke for tattooers for a long time. Let me get us.
It's good.
I'm gonna wait till this restarts and then I'll resume the screen share.
Yeah.
This is great though. Anybody who was part of the kanji trend has got to get this.
This one right here, love. And I got this, peace. Pretty badass and cultured, right? Check out my new tattoos. This one right here, it says happiness. This one right here, love. And I got this, peace. Pretty badass and cultured, right?
Yeah.
I like that
it-
it was
Check out my new
facing up
tattoos.
for her.
Yeah, right. This made me laugh on my inside parts
Oh
because
man.
I have kanji that when people went to read it, went, what? And I went, never mind. It was the 2000s were crazy times.
Entangle, that's what that is. It's just like
What's your
that.
kanji?
It's a
Ben?
cloud 9.
Cloud 9.
But
Aw.
9 is not a symbol, but you can find a symbol for 9. I promise you that. But so I actually think it is closer to cloud pi if I were picking. But
Well,
Also pretty cool.
Poignant, like the
Poignant.
stereotype right
Yeah.
there.
There is not space.
Oh, no. I bet you are completely covered, huh?
You got a couple.
Oh, my goodness. That's very cute. And there's clouds. There are actually clouds.
That was like number
very cute.
2 tattoo. Like it was very early
I love
in the
that.
collection. And then we put a lot of
You know-
dark black.
You know, it
around
just
it.
occurred to me,
What?
like we've talked to Maddie a couple times now, like on air, but like, have we talked about your collection at all?
Tell
Have we
us
talked
about
about who's worked on you?
your
Because that's kind of what we
tattoos.
get into, like your motivations behind why and what for, and
I
We
don't think
haven't
we've
really
gotten
talked
in
about
very
that, huh?
deep into mine. No.
we should.
Yeah. I can send some pictures. Hold on. Wait for me.
While she sends Fawn, pull up snails.
Oh, we never did get to those, huh? Let's go.
You want to see what I'm working on?
Yes.
here.
please.
So I'm doing the exact opposite. You guys are talking about getting burned out from having to be versatile. I'm gonna do the same tattoo. That's it.
Only one.
Do you want a Benny T tattoo? This is what you get. Motherfucking snail. All right, it's happening. We've been talking about this for a long time,
Yeah, it's
Long
coming
time.
to fruition though.
but here they are.
Words become actions.
Snails.
There we go. I swear I know how to work this thing
I
sometimes.
believe you.
Sometimes.
I have a censored version of my chest tattoo.
Bam.
Look at what our boy Ben's been up to.
I can't see it. I want to tell you which one it is. Oh, this is like one of the very first ones. Yep. Making some snails. That was literally like the scratch pad. That was
This is the best thing you could do though. Like if you're actually like practicing anything like this. Okay, let's rewind. So when I was in high school, I got a little interested in calligraphy.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
And one of the most important things is like loosening up your hand, like just making the same motions over and over again, like kicking in that muscle memory the same way like athletes do, the same way musicians do. Like you just warm up. It's going to kind of connect your brain and your hand and kind of like, get all those neurons and all that eye-hand coordination lined up. And it also is adapting you to the nib you're using
Mhm.
and the paper you're using and the ink you're using. So
That's
those practice
exactly where
strokes
I got
are so important.
I
and-
literally got that from the calligraphy book, the shapes and the ways to move. And
I mean, you
Um,
can see in each one of these little lines, let me see if I can be helpful with the cursor here. But each one of these little lines, you can see how like the difference between this line and this line, like, they're both kind of like, meh, not confident and just barely seeing like what
Mhm.
you can do in it. But if you go from this line to this line, there's a world of difference, like just in those.
That was
few
even
little
still
marks.
figuring out needle depth
Mhm.
and things like
And I'm
that. So
just saying like these tiny little increments of growth. This is one of the reasons why you can't just like anybody can learn how to do this. I think anybody that wants to pursue something, you can learn how to do this, but you can't just like jump into the skin
I have-
without
right.
understanding
The
certain things.
equipment.
And this is just a perfect example. But
Have you heard the 19 minute a day theory?
tell me 19 minutes a day.
I'm gonna say it wrong, but like it's if you spend 19 minutes a day on anything,
Like intense focus,
like
right?
you spend, it's all you do for 19 minutes a day is that project. By the end of a year, you'll be better than 90% of the people in that do that. So like if you want to get really good at drawing, if you spend 19 minutes every day in consistent habit of doing what you're trying to be better at, by the time of the year, you will be better than 90% of the people that do that task.
So now we got some snaily stencil action.
Yeah, trying to make
Getting
some
a little-
stencils.
Little braver. Sorry, guys, I'm horrible at
That's so
this.
cool.
And then
Improvement.
we made a little snail guy there. He
So,
kind of looks like a snail. And then I think the next one was the same one, just a little bit bigger. And I figured
I'd better learn how to use the little guy with more needles.
The mag.
So I fucking did in there.
How'd that go again?
That's actually
That
pretty
looks
close.
good. Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
What do you think? So the difference from that first tiny little snail after you made those practice marks to this, what, your fourth or fifth one?
Yeah, there you don't have a lot of the I didn't send everyone I did for sure. But yeah, that was probably 6 or so down their line.
Tell me. Oh, I sent that again. Tell me some of the differences you noticed by the time you got like further along.
Well, really, a lot of it had to do with me because it was learning the machine and figuring out the pace of the machine compared to the pace of your hand, and figuring out not to drag, but to let the machine dictate the speed of the line. And really how much ink to carry and things like that made a big difference between just even that short amount of time. But it's just like learning how to use any tool. The first time you run a router, you suck at it. You know, like, so it's kind of the same concept in my mind. I have to learn how to use the tools, and it takes a lot of practice to do that. So start small.
So I'm gonna show you this cool thing that I sent to, I think it's cool. Maybe you guys will think it's lame.
I think
but
it's
sent
rad.
I sent this to Ben after he sent me those snails that he was working on.
She was like, let's do this. And I was like, that's way too much commitment. I would fuck up the first thing, and the canvas would get smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller.
Look at it. I feel like each little piece and part. I feel like this would be something cool that we could do together.
That'd be a fun thing to set up at like night, not a paint night, art night, something like that. Get a big skin like that and just leave it up for, say, leave it out here for a couple months and to see what everybody does when they walk by. You remember the live art we did with the splatter paint that changed form like 4 times?
Yeah, that
overnight?
turned out pretty cool.
It's the same with the live art at like the Art Fusion projects and stuff like that. Could you imagine just leaving something like that up for a few months and seeing?
Well, I mean, that's one of the cool things. I'm going to unscreen share this. One of the cool things about being in like a studio setting like this is when we're all like in a period where we're motivated, we can work and learn from each other, and we can teach one another things. Kyle's been out here in the shop, like in the warehouse, I like every day painting with Brandon, and like to watch, like to watch the levels that we all grow just from being around one another is kind of astounding. Like the tattoo tricks are one thing, like we're all learning from one another, we're all watching each other use our own set of tricks for different things. But when we come out here and we're using our creativity and we're using our hands and brains and all of these other ways, and we're sharing that information with one another, like I probably haven't been surrounded by this much like opportunity to learn as I have been since I was in college. Like I was just surrounded by people that were motivated and wanted to be better. And, there were the burnouts at school, but like
Right.
the majority of the people that I was around were incredibly like just wanted to be better at their craft because they had bigger goals. They had bigger, like they needed
Right.
to learn these things to do the thing. You know what I mean? Like there's that kind of, and I feel like we're pretty blessed to be surrounded by a whole group of peers that are just so like dedicated to growth right now. It's a pretty special thing.
It's a really crazy energy in here. It's inspiring. Like I haven't got to paint and sit down or been inspired to paint in like 3 years to paint something that wasn't like a piece that was commissioned from me. And seeing Kyle in here painting every day, I was like, oh man, I need to get like that. He was painting these those like the challenge ones. We would do one a day.
Mhm.
And that was crazy. I was like, man, if you can paint every single day and keep working on these other pieces.
Man,
you're
Kyle
busting it
was
out.
churning
I
them
need
out
to
too.
start
He like wore himself out doing those
Yeah.
things. Do you
Lily
want to
loves
talk
their
about that
excavator.
experience a little bit, Kyle, now that you've had a little bit of time to decompress?
It was very rough to stay on that because it's like once you get like 10, 15 days in and you just want to quit at that point, and then the pushing past that and staying on it is always worth it, but very hard to actually commit to.
Out of the paintings that you did, what percentage, well, let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Can you talk about the like growth that you see when you look back at those paintings now?
Yeah, I mean, even during it, I could immediately notice all the growth. I like was watching it happen day by day. By like the first couple, I was like, not really the best or not fond of it, not really enjoying it that much. But like every like 2 to 3 days, I'm like, that one was really good. I can visually see the improvement and like just how much more clarity that I've been able to achieve and learn.
Outside looking in, it's cool to watch the growth, man. It really is.
Can you pull
Like,
your Instagram up
Sure.
if you don't mind? If that's not too intrusive, I think it's just
No, we
really
can.
cool. You've been working so hard at this stuff and you like just the growth itself, I hope is reward because it's pretty crazy to watch a talent unfold before my eyes the way it has with you over the last, what, year?
Yeah, year almost now. I've been out here.
dedicated progress.
Mhm.
Everybody's like, practice make perfect. It's like, no, practice makes progress.
Yeah.
And it is,
The other day too.
yeah, as long as you're chipping away at something, you'll continually get better. My problem is my ADD is so strong in the front, and I'm like, yeah, I love this, and I get a little bit decent at something, and I'm like, I am totally bored. I would never do this again.
This is a perfect snapshot of this was during that painting a day challenge, and like you can see some of these, like this skull right here. I was like, oh, that one kind of sucks. But like the tape measure, the little pocket knife, some of them were really good.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I think that skull's dope.
That
Mhm.
chair is awesome.
My favorite thing to look at is at the beginning of it, I can find it, this dragon skull here. And then I did the same one at the end of the month as well. To go from that to that.
You know what the best part about doing a dragon skull?
Hmm.
Is you can make it look however the fuck you want.
Right? No one knows.
You ain't never seen no dragon skull. That's cool, bro.
I think I've sent quite a few.
Kyle, I want to commission a piece from you.
Okay.
I will pay you for the canvas and the paint and your time. And you tell me what you need.
We'll chat off
I
camera.
want an octopus, but just like one big tentacle. Can you
Just
do
one
that?
big- I can do one big tentacle
Like,
for you.
just okay.
Yeah.
8x7.
8x7.
8x7. That's all you get. It better be baller. This is restaurant style too. If I don't like it, I'm not paying for it.
Stop it.
Hey, if you don't pay for it, it'll sit on my wall, man.
I'm just fucking-
I'm
Lily loves her excavator.
glad. I was just like one of those, like, I'm just gonna do it real quick, pump it out.
It worked great. She loves it.
Yeah.
She loves it. She's like, you added a new painting. It's an excavator. I was like, you right.
You're right.
She sent tattoo.
Sent a couple.
You want to do some tatty talks? Is that where you want to?
Talk to me
You want to do some tatty talks?
Sure.
about your tatties.
So my most recent one was my face, I think, was my last one.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have a really good picture of it, but I have this rose on my cheek.
But it's right there. Well, rose on face.
Yeah, rose on face. And I love it so much. It's from Jared Day, did it at my last studio. And it's lasagna tattoos, lasagna_tattoos. But he did this one too. We're about to go back into it. It says serendipity and goes all the way up. And then I have the worst tattoo, like the most painful for sure, was my toes. Yeah, that's one of my side. Yes. I know I have a picture of this devil lady too. It's from
Oh,
it's a
why
big
you at that
progress
different?
piece from Kevin Navarro.
Nice.
Yeah. You see my Kevin Navarro piece? Yeah, so we're gonna get started. I did that at Hell City. And he knocked it out in like an hour, which was so crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, and the circles are just so perfect.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super good.
Yeah, it was
Is it gonna
awesome.
stay black? You can do color?
I think
Have you
he's gonna
decided?
add some color.
Yeah.
I like the ones that he does that are just like the pop of that red or like the, just a little bit of something. So I think I'm just gonna let him do it every once.
Nice.
This was a piece that he had already sitting down, like
Mhm.
just like out on his table. It's one of the last big ones. And I was like, I want the piece from you because your work is beautiful.
Well, you talk about your collection. I'm gonna run up and start getting our things together to tattoo fruit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Was that all the pictures that we go through?
Oh, no, I sent a couple.
Kyle, keep going through.
Yeah,
it, 'cause
Kyle,
I can't do that.
Kyle's on the thing.
Flip the screen this way so we can see it. And we'll keep talking about your tatties.
That is,
All right.
yeah, I'm the worst at taking pictures of them. I'm so sorry.
You know, I feel like I have to have
don't
a
have pictures.
folder on my phone.
Yeah, I think
So
they're
I
in there
can-
somewhere.
I do
but-
have like this little run on Instagram where I shared them all, but I have to scroll so far back. Maybe I just need to do that again. It's
Yeah.
like, I am proud of my
Make a
work.
little
I do like
highlight or
showing it off.
something. The
Maybe I
work
should
on
just
you.
do like, maybe get some nice new photos and like maybe a video of my collection. Like
Yeah.
maybe that's what we need to do for our intro. Cause I
Video
think cool stuff.
collections.
Maybe that's the thing we're missing is like the pan across our collections and then like us standing there all like, yep,
When
I did that. I have that.
when Wes went to retire, M had just started getting into photography. And we went through and took photos of all of my tattoos and put them in a and gave it to him as like a, hey bro, thanks for the 10 years of tatty blasting.
Nice.
And then he came back. And I was like, I want my book back, bro. That was a retirement present.
Can I ungift that?
No, Can I add to it? man?
He was giving pages. Like.
Please
like
add-
Little scrap.
All right.
Please
Be back in
add.
a few minutes.
Okay, so show us the next from Kyle. Come on, Kyle.
Loading.
So
Okay, so that one,
don't break things.
that one was my second tattoo. It's Salvador Dali's signature, one of them, because he has so many of them.
Right?
That was my favorite. So.
Alright. I didn't know Salvador Dali had different
Oh,
signatures.
yeah, man, he just kind of did what he wanted. He just changes it up a lot. There's like different, yeah.
All right.
And then at the Tampa Dolly Art Museum, they have a whole, like they had a whole room of like his last life drawings. And like you can kind of see like, oh, I'm so sorry I'm making noises. I'm gonna stop. But you got to see all of the cool like progression and, or I guess degression of his.
That's pretty cool.
signature. Yeah, it was pretty rad.
That's morbid, but
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So that one was Jeff Bernard and, oh, why am I forgetting Caitlin's last name? But she goes by Space Zombie on Instagram.
I like that. That is,
Yeah,
that
we
is solid,
went to
solid,
the,
solid.
Tattoo convention with it.
Oh, yeah.
The one in Dayton this year.
Won the whole convention.
Yeah.
They send it home with you, pack it in a truck.
Huh?
They send it home with you, pack it in a truck,
Full scale model.
Oh,
the whole convention.
convention. You won the best of the show. at the
Best of
convention.
the show.
The whole
You didn't actually win the convention. They didn't pack the booths.
But I had to move it myself and I have a small Nissan, so.
So no.
And then Caitlin Campbell, and she's the _Space Zombie, but
Nice.
they do beautiful work and they're gonna actually do my whole arm at Hell City for 3 days is what we're talking. So I'm very excited. They're
It's a hefty
beautiful.
3 days.
I've got this.
I don't
Got
I
this.
don't not believe you.
I'm-
That's like
You don't believe me?
No, I said I don't not believe you.
Oh.
That's amazing. I got you.
No, I don't believe me. That's why I need
We'll
you
have
to
lots
get
of support.
Very straight.
We'll be there. I
But
got
I've
you.
got it, you know?
We'll bring you snacks,
Yeah.
high fives,
Have you not been?
blankets, all
Yep.
all that.
Yeah. I
Um,
listen to true crime while I get tattooed because
That's
I
scary.
hate getting tattooed. And
Yeah.
it's not as bad as getting your head chopped off by your loved one. So I just, well, it's a trip. I'm like, all right, yeah,
Well,
for
I'm
sure. And
not
I kind of just get out of there. Yeah. And then I like, sometimes I'll make little whimpers. Like, I try to keep it to myself and I'll stay really still, but I'll be like, and they're like, don't make that sound. That's so sad.
I don't want to tattoo
When I
you
got my
anymore.
lips tattooed, I was just like, it was like a dog at the like it was a really
Aw.
sad sound the whole time.
I sit one, so I get it.
Ugh.
Okay, so what's who?
So my chest tattoo was done by my old mentor. I don't have like a whole censored picture like I thought. I still have to get them finished. So Corey is gonna do that for me.
Nice.
And then my neck tattoo is done by Eli Rowe. He's
Okay.
a Evil Genius also at the old shop I worked at,
Nice.
West Lafayette. He's Black Arm Pirate on Instagram, but his work is beautiful. He's a very technical tattooer. So like one of those you just look at and you're like, bro, that's crazy.
Right,
You're a
right.
printer.
Right.
That doesn't
Right.
make any sense. That's how all of his work is. And he can do just about anything you throw
Love
at
it.
him. Yeah.
Love
it's
it.
really
He
versatile. Yeah.
understands the art.
Yeah.
I
Oh, and he
love
loves it. Like he does outside of that, he does like photography and he paints and and he's great at all those things too. So really
Rad
awesome. He also did the
stuff.
side of my face, which you can,
it. All right.
this little dude right
Little
here.
simple tatty.
Yeah, that was my first face tattoo.
Ow.
And I mean, it's perfect
It is
There's
perfect.
no-
Like,
yeah, it's wild.
absolutely.
on a face,
On a face.
Yeah.
On a temple.
on someone who is getting tattooed.
All right.
Really great. Yeah. So, yeah. But he does beautiful work. He's so gentle too that I
Right.
barely, it's just kind of brushing through.
Fawn tattooed the side of my head.
Ooh, how's
And,
that for you?
It was, it's like having needles on the side of your head.
Yeah.
And I definitely remember just being like, okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Just no more of
Go
that.
behind your ear.
And we're fine. It stays up pretty high. It
Okay.
stays up in my
Cool.
hair. So yeah,
Behind your ear sucks.
we kept all the sauce out of it.
Yeah. I did the back of my partner's head. It gets
Uh-huh.
like all the way wrapped around and like behind his ear a little
No.
bit. Yeah,
No.
he was sweating.
Well, she did one side and then Toby did the other, and the difference in their tattooing styles was extremely noticeable.
Yeah.
Both amazing. Like, don't get me wrong. And
Right.
neither one was harsh in any way, shape, or form, but like Toby makes sure that skin's stretched and the tattoos in there, whereas Fawn is a little more gentle.
Hmm.
So it was when you can feel the vibration in your jaw and your teeth clatter together. You can tell the difference in what and how the person works. And I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
Just it was like
It's a different kind of.
it was really weird to have that close.
Like through here on me, like that weird like tingle in your, yeah, and you can actually feel it like
Yeah, it's weird. Like
Yeah.
your whole body absorbs that.
my
So,
piercings smack against my teeth when I get my face tattooed. That sucks.
I wanted a mouth guard. I do remember that because my jaw's. Was that all the photos? Did we do all the things?
I think so. yeah.
Good job, Kyle. I'm proud of you.
I have a lot more tattoos. I just don't have a lot of pictures. I have these guys on my leg. I'll show you some cool stuff. I got this guy on my leg. He's a little slimer.
A Slimer.
Yeah, he's a tribal slimer dude.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah. And then that was my first ever convention. So I got a Hell City tattoo and then now I work here. So that's wild.
Brad.
Yeah.
I got tattooed at Hell City one year. The next year I worked the front door. And like that was kind of like a lot of people's intro back then was they're like, oh, you wanna work at Hell City? Cool. Sit at
Right
that
in the front.
I did that
sit
last year.
at that stool. You somehow, sir, have this
Just like
have this
piece of-
way about you to where your first show you get pretty cushy duties here, and I'm throwing that out there because like I worked the door. Fuck you. You just get to come in,
Hey, I worked seminars last year.
slide
okay?
right into the AV. You didn't have to do no trash duty. You weren't on your hands and knees lifting bisqueen.
Hey, put me on it. I'll show up.
I know you will. I ain't mad at you, and bet. Bet.
He beats
I'll regret
everybody in
that,
the morning
but,
to paint and
yeah.
then he gets the day started. killing the
Good
game.
job, but it's gonna be a good show this year. I'm pretty pumped on it. But it was weird because like it was definitely one of those like as soon as you felt that vibe, you're like, oh, I live here now. You know what I mean? Like, I will participate in this.
Yeah.
From then on. It was kind of weird because like right after that Durban, I started doing jujitsu,
Yeah.
and it was just kind of like,
So you do that now too?
no, I haven't trained in a couple of years. I blew my calf out, working on roofs, and it kind of took me off the mat for like 8 months, and I've just been lazy ever since. So I need to get back at it, but then I had a car accident. You're always broken, and it's hard to go do something that physical when you have all the aches and pains and
Yeah.
always. So,
Very fair, very fair. Are you excited to tattoo a fruit?
I am. I've never tattooed a fruit. I've barely tattooed fake skin. So it's been fun. We'll see.
Oh shit. I see that top bit ripped off. Get her out there.
You really got this one stuck.
Anyone got some olive oil?
What did you do to it?
It's Keefy, man. She
Yeah.
bees. Yeah.
No. We played this game earlier and you won, so I don't know why you handed it to me.
That's fair. Honestly, Fawn one, I barely touched it in it.
Right.
Yeah, I felt really strong because I'm never that guy. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I
God.
can't. She did it.
Normally I can do it, but that's not a budget.
Goodness.
Kyle, go get a hammer.
A hammer?
Yeah.
A bit extreme.
No, just give it a couple taparoonies. It'll
Sorry. My skirt is a you're sitting, so you should sit skirt. Don't
aren't,
giggle at
aren't
me.
all skirts. You're
No.
sitting, so you should skirt and you should
No,
skirt.
I just I was worried about
Oh
standing.
yeah. Yeah. You thought I was fucking around, Kyle, that I was just like,
She has to get it, and then we put
You should like soak this in alcohol.
no, we put olive oil on it because that's what Jared. Is it
it has to be clean first, you know that, right?
I'm not sure who.
Because you just
told
add
me.
olive oil to Keith, it's gonna make a paste, which is what's going on here.
Yeah, but he said that it would just make it go away. It would just fall
Yeah,
apart.
After
Who told me that? I can't
they
remember.
lied to you, I can
Oh.
tell you that much.
Get a wrench.
That's what I
Maybe
said,
just
hammer.
granted.
You
It's
didn't-
okay. I'll bust
you
this
didn't-
baby open later.
Didn't even believe me.
I don't think you guys didn't do that.
It's all right. It's all right. It would be okay.
It's okay.
It's funny how
I have a strong man at home that has the thing, like the tools. He'll break it
the
open.
tools,
Yeah, he'll break it open.
you can have the mini.
Oh wow. Good
You can
shit.
have the mini. So what is do you have a next planned tattoo?
Yeah, my full arm at Hell City. Yeah.
You did already say
I
that.
just say that. That's okay. Hey, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna ask. I asked Fawn if she would do my middle of my chest. 'Cause it's kind of framed out already with flowers.
Mhm.
So I asked her if she would do this, and she thinks we might take it down to like
Okay.
my riblets a little bit.
Mm.
Which is fine. And then I asked if Jordan would do my back.
Just already, just like, hey. let's
Bro,
book
have you
some
stared
time.
at his chat or have you stared at his paintings though? Like,
No,
you know
I
what I mean?
never.
Just get up in there. Just get
I've-
up in there and tell
I've-
me that you're not like, yeah, no, I would just give you,
Just
would
let
you do
that
it?
happen.
yeah.
I
I
would just
said,
let that
what do
happen.
you want to do?
It's like tattoos.
Yeah. I have
No, I
room
love
on
it.
the back and I
Answer's
just,
always bio.
huh?
Answer's always bio.
I know. I told him I would like something like what he paints on my back because I have those two flowers started. It's just outlines.
Mhm.
And they're really well done. There's just nothing to them. So I was like, whatever you want to do off of that, it's all you.
Have fun.
Yeah.
That's how I did my back. I said, hey, Rich, I want to tattoo my back. He's like, what do you want? And I was like, a back tattoo. And he was like, oh, okay. And that was fun. I remember walking in to see it for the first time because I didn't get any updates. I didn't get any drawing. I didn't get nothing. Just walked in and was like, that's a big tattoo. It was a lot of fun. He had it all on like individual sheets and all taped together. Like it was perfect. It was so much fun.
Did you?
Did
you do
it? No. No, it magically
I thought
flopped
maybe-
open on the table and just was like,
Stop it.
it's the barometric pressure.
Good about it.
Uh,
I'm not gonna mess with it anymore.
I thought that you opened it.
No.
So I thought like,
Oh,
oh,
wow.
you brought it back or something. That's why I was trying to figure out what happened.
no, I just hadn't messed with it.
I just pay attention while I was.
Just fidgeted with it until it budged.
I appreciate you.
It's
So strong.
no, just consistent. It's
So strong. Strong.
sometimes you just gotta be more stubborn than whatever you're working with.
Big fair.
Mhm.
Do you want to hear about the series I'm painting?
Please.
So it started with one little painting because I always describe myself as a little goblin that broke into a princess's bedroom. Like I really like shiny, pretty, bougie things. Like I like,
More to goblins here, Don.
yes. So that's
Amazing.
kind of like my thing, but also I'm a little goblin human and I like constantly am sitting like this. On my old shop, like my scoliosis just goes full form.
Mhm.
Now that I tattoo, it's just like, this is your shape now.
You know, Derb will yell at you.
I know he's been yelling at me. He's
Hey.
been making me stretch out here on the
Uh-huh.
mats.
He'll make you
We did
get
a whole
it.
stretch. I was like, are you trying to fight me? Because I don't want to fight you.
He might try to fight you. It is
I
kind of part of
can't
working.
win.
You just
My
kind of,
face is too expensive.
sometimes you just gotta take it. You
Nope.
just let it happen.
Too much
Yeah.
jewelry up in this
Uh,
girl.
Well,
It would take forever to get it out. I can't.
he'll also like walk by your station and be like, why are you bending?
No, I know. you-
Do these things. And then,
I've
yeah,
been trying. I've been like doing the stretches he says, and
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm glad that he tells me. And I went and got a foam roller and I'm like doing all the things I'm supposed to do. But I do slouch like a little goblin. And because of that, I actually sit on the floor when I paint. I don't sit in a chair or like stand or anything like that. I sit on the floor. So my partner cut the feet off of my easel so that I could sit on the floor like a little crouchy goblin. Yeah, it's very sweet. So it's my little pillow over there.
Do you need a? Oh,
Yeah, it's my little area that I sit.
that's so cute.
Thank you.
A floor
Um,
easel.
Yeah, he chopped it all down for me. So we couldn't get it to go any lower.
I'm very excited to have a new arts and crafts space at my house. Did you break it again?
This kind is different. Oh God, okay.
Did you get it?
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. You didn't need me.
Okay, thanks.
Listen to Bandit. Like, yeah, I just rearranged my living room and took my kitchen table out and wedged it into my kitchen and moved the island and did a bunch of stuff and like mixed it up. And so now I get to like put a desk and like have
That's
have
exciting.
a craft area. Very excited about it.
It is so nice to have that space. But I feel like a lot of times I have it. It's really nice. And for some reason, my brain's like, it'd be really fun though is if you painted in the middle of the kitchen. in the
Yeah.
most inconvenient spot of your house.
Yeah.
If you wouldn't mind doing that.
Uh,
Or like, oh, you should paint.
I have a 5-year-old. So like having the available space to do it means I don't have to do it at the dining room table.
Love that.
And it makes my life easier. This is all selfish.
No, I love that for you. No, I have the space too, and I love having it, and it's so
Excuse me.
cool to have it. And like, I wanna create there.
Mhm.
I just will be like, it'd be really cool though, is if I just post it up in the living room real
Yeah.
quick. And I don't know why we were
Like,
talking about that
yeah.
earlier. We just got the paint everywhere.
I totally get that. Not that I
I'm
paint.
excited that you get your space though.
I'm very pumped. I'm very pumped. It's gonna be nice.
It'll be real nice.
Been doing a lot of stuff because I've been stuck at home. It's weird how much you instantly hate everything you own when you look at it for a few months. Because then you're like, why do I own this? I don't like this or enjoy this.
I have a grinder, but it stresses me out.
You just gave up, just not,
I'm just
just handing
scroll
it,
it.
just giving a little.
Yeah. Oh, but my little series. So I call myself a little princess or a little
Oh,
goblin
yeah.
broken princess's bedroom. So I was trying to figure out what to paint and I haven't had any idea of what to paint. I haven't painted since I started tattooing, really, like painted something like just for fun. And I used to paint dark surrealist stuff, but I tattoo bright new school. goofy shit now.
Right.
And I was like, so what do I paint? And that's been like the issue. I just didn't know how to like get out of tattoo brain. I didn't know what my style was anymore. Like it kind of just like, I kind of felt like I was like out of the loop on my
Right,
head now.
Right.
So I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm just gonna draw this little goober because I make jokes about it all the time. So once I decided to draw him, I have a little knight in shining armor that's gonna be like peeking through the window of him because he's like falling down because the shoes are too big
Oh,
and all the pearls are broken and they're kind of flying everywhere and like, and he's like, oh no.
he's having a very stressful moment.
Yeah. So the knight in shining
Yeah.
armor is looking at him. He's like, bro, little goblin, you better get out that princess's bedroom and run away. But he's just kind of peeping in. I'm gonna do another painting from the other perspective. So it's like the knight looking in. And you see his little tuchus because he's not wearing any pants.
Oh,
You're gonna see his little bum. Yeah. And then in the window, and then the knight in shining armor is gonna be like, instead of climbing hair or something, he just has like goblins with like chickens tied to their feet, like different things to try to make him really tall.
I love that you've already created your own little world of goblin.
Where all my artwork comes from. It's just this weird little world that kind of
And isn't that the point?
all my
You know what I
tattoos would
mean?
hang out
Like,
together for sure.
It's kind of bringing your world to canvas or print or film or
Or
whatever.
tattoo.
And I think that's the hardest thing a tattooer does when you're talking to a client is taking something that they've built in their head and trying to translate that now, not only just to your art, but your art to their specs. And that process to me just still hurts my brain. Because people come and be like, yo, I want a waterfall with an elephant, and then I want a canoe with a and you're just like, okay, gotcha. Hold on. Badass tattoo.
Sometimes you just get those visions. You were telling me you want an octopus with one tentacle. I immediately got a vision of like big tentacle here, little octopus hanging out in the back there.
Yeah,
It happens.
that doesn't happen with me.
It's not for everyone.
So they kind of just like live in my head. Like it's like this little, I never know how to really describe it. It's like this little like storybook kind of like thing. Like every time I draw something, it kind of would just hang out in the same little book.
My thing is like, if I could do it in the speed that my brain worked, fucking A. But next time I sit down, I wouldn't remember that there was supposed to be a night and another perspective. And like my whole plan would
I
have
make
been,
notes on my Procreate because I'm a stoner. I make little
That's
notes with
smart.
doodles.
that's
And then later I go back, I'm like, shit, that was an awesome idea. I'm so smart. Yeah. And I pat myself on the back.
That's probably what helps.
Yeah.
I should start leaving myself voice notes.
Mhm.
I couldn't do that. I can't make a list and complete it. Like there's this weird thing where I'm like, Kyle, you just switched the camera to you walking away as you walked away, and it made my inside parts laugh. But I get this weird like list completed thing where I look at it and I'm like, oh, there's only a couple more things. If I finish those things, now what do I do? And I don't know. Like I have a hard time.
My brain can always come up with new things to do is the problem.
No,
I'll just keep
like-
it forever list. It's like Santa Claus's list. Yeah. It's like,
I can't do it. I'm burnout on the list before I even finish reading it.
Oh.
And I want to be on to the next thing.
lists help me.
Sometimes. I brought gloves. What's up?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's up? Also
Goodness
brought some
gracious.
fruit. Aren't we going upstairs to do that?
No.
Or is she coming down
She's
here?
bringing her
She's gonna
stuff
bring
here.
stuff down. She's like getting it all prepared. Yeah.
Oh. If you were a spicy chicken sandwich,
Uh-huh.
what would your toppings be? Like what's on them buns? You know what I mean?
A spicy chicken sandwich. Okay, first of all,
Yeah.
can we step that like back a whole step?
Okay.
What kind of chicken?
A spicy chicken sandwich.
No. What kind of chicken?
I'm vegetarian, so I don't know the difference.
So like, are we a chicken breast or a chicken thigh sandwich?
I'm thinking a patty
A patty? So
in
like,
my brain.
so it's
For
a-
me, it's a Boca spicy chicken patty.
So you're a boca. So you're like a flat, like recompressed. See, okay.
Like
So
a
it's my
ground
option.
chicken.
Like, what am I
patty.
supposed
I hear you. I hear you. I'm not mad at
No
that. See,
leg.
but for like me, I'd probably be like a dark meat recompressed. Like saying I like that greasy flavor, right?
Get it?
And probably do like a thicker like batter. Like give me that
That crunch.
extra crispy.
Would
You know what I mean?
would you do a mix of like thigh and breast?
No,
No, just straight up.
no.
Okay.
Give me that dark.
Gotcha.
I want it on my face.
Yeah.
And then I would have to say extra crispy breading because always.
Mhm.
And then like I'm not a super hot guy, so I would want like a milder sauce, but
Mhm.
then I would want to do like a blue cheese, like
dressing.
okay, but here's
like
the question
topping
was like,
with
I'm
it.
not asking you to eat the sandwich.
No, I would have to eat the sandwich. That's what I would be.
Yeah, ready? I asked if you were a spicy chicken sandwich.
I hear you.
So I need to know, like, what are you made of? What are your toppings?
I'm pretty
Like,
much telling you,
You would eat it?
I'm not that spicy. I'm a little bit blue,
You would eat it though?
but mix me all together. I'm a pretty good fucking sandwich.
I mean, that's pretty dope.
There's layers of me that most people wouldn't eat individually.
Yeah.
And I'm a hard concept sometimes. But like,
I'm gonna join you to fill space.
fuck
here.
off,
Yeah.
Kyle.
Fuck you.
Hey, buddy.
Seat's taken. I'm just kidding.
He's my +1.
He's my plus one. You can't have me.
Stop. You're not
Um,
nice to him.
I'm nice to Kyle more than you will ever. But yeah, I think that would be me. I think I'd be individual layers that wouldn't make sense. And then you have to like take a big bite. And that'd be me. Mhm.
What about you? If
What
you're a
kind of
spicy
chicken? If I'm a
sandwich,
spicy chicken sandwich.
What's
He'd be a
on your
ghost
buttons,
pepper.
Buddy, like, what's that looking like?
I'd be a mild patty
Or
of like ground breast.
Ground breast.
Yeah,
ground
yeah.
beef?
He likes that no chew effort
Yeah.
in his meat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Slippery.
Probably like a really spicy mayo
Mm.
sauce. I feel like most of the
So
That's what it's
you're saying
called,
you're
the
saying your
sauce.
patty would be plain?
Reverse.
it wouldn't be plain. It'd be well seasoned, but it
That's-
would be like
that's
the patty would be mild.
Well seasoned is pretty fucking vague. You mentioned no seasoning in your well seasoned description.
Salt, pepper, garlic
That's-
powder.
That's not well seasoned. That's like starting to season something.
Sorry, yeah. Well,
And this is a
You know what
spice.
harissa is?
No.
Harissa. Get
harissa.
some harissa with a H.
Is
Harissa. Harissa. Get some
that
harissa.
is that a pepper?
It's a seasoning. It's a seasoning.
It's a seasoning.
Seasoning.
Okay.
The seasoning
Um,
sort.
What
This is what my
kind is
partner is. Listen, what I tell you about earlier. I'm not the kitchen guy. I'm not the kitchen guy. All I'm saying is he goes, "Hey man, you want a little harissa on this?" And I'm like, "Throw it on there, brother." And he does the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. it's
All right.
delicious.
I'll have to look that up, see what we're actually eating there.
Okay, so which M&M would you take on a date and why is that your red flag?
And why is that my red flag?
Can I take the orange one?
Why is everyone with the orange one? I'm tired of the orange one. It's basically just a Reese's Pieces. I don't like that one at
Because
all.
like you see the promotional material of him, he's like this like anxious little guy.
guess
I
so.
feel like I could vibe well with him. You're the purple?
Everybody chooses the non-original ones. That's fine.
Yeah.
He could have said green.
Orange is original.
The orange?
The orange is
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, okay, what about
M&Ms.
the caramel square?
What?
Yeah, like well, because they have like the caramel M&M, so like they have like a character that is just the
Wait,
caramel.
was you the brownie one?
Nah.
So, oh,
Yeah.
heard. Okay, okay, okay. I see you. I see you.
I would say that.
Yeah.
I would say that.
I like the yellow guy. Hear me out. I think it'd be
Give
fun.
it up.
I think we would just like go to like a trampoline, like a sky zone or something. And it'd just be like two bros broing, just me and this yellow.
So, yeah.
Yeah, hear me out.
So my dad had M&M dispensers growing up that you like pulled yellow guy's hand and his other hand was right here. It was like this.
Oh, I have
and he
one of
pulled his
those.
hand.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I ate so
I had
many
one with the
M&Ms.
fire. He was like a little fireman, and it comes
Yeah.
with the hose.
Yep, we had that one
Yes.
too. We had the car, we had the motorcycle, we had the Santa Claus M&M one.
This way, right?
It was a thing.
Did you have it?
Sure.
There you go. You need this?
I mean,
No,
I can't
not
see my
necessarily.
face if you take it away, and I'm
I
very
don't look
vain.
at it because it gives me anxiety.
I like to make sure Kyle's doing his job. That's all. Just keep tabs.
So
Mental
I'm
note.
going to take the handheld and kind of get you guys going and get kind of close-ups with this camera.
Close-ups.
Yeah, I'm gonna get close-ups of what's
Yeah.
going
I
on.
don't need no close-up.
And then I'll join you after a couple of minutes and then I'll get some more close-ups
Cool.
again. So brought
So-
this down so we could freely make misses.
Okay, watch your feet, buddy.
Hey,
Throw that in the wastebasket.
hey.
Okay. I'm taking
Hey.
this. This is underneath my chair. No, you can take it. That's actually you.
Everything's fine and safe everywhere. And we can just put the mic on top of this. If you want.
Talk to me, talk to me, baby. I'll give you a nickel if you can tell me what that's from.
I don't know.
It's
And I
from,
don't want your nickel.
it's from a goofy movie.
A goofy movie?
A
Like,
goofy movie.
A very
Like,
goofy
goofy movie?
oh, yeah, like with Goofy and his kid Max.
That's cute.
And like they're at the X Games.
Talk to me, baby.
Half notes down.
I want a busted ass grapefruit.
Then why'd you buy them?
They were in a bag, Kyle.
2 more.
This is chilly.
And yeah.
Ooh. What's yours name? What's your
I
client?
actually like 8, but we're just when we're done. I don't know about the grapefruit.
I don't, can you eat them after you
No,
eat
I
them?
don't
I mean, it's not couches, maybe.
I don't know if I want, I would just save an orange to eat for later. There's plenty of citrus.
My dog likes to collect fruits. He gets really excited about it. I could just let him hang out with it.
There's a few paper towels that are pre-ripped.
Aw,
Thanks. That was mine, but you know it. I'll use this one.
don't touch it, Kyle.
Sorry.
Set up This one. kind of.
Ooh. Is this your first time tattooing a fruit?
Pass me
Yeah.
No.
It is not.
scissors.
It's not before.
Kyle, what are the scissors for? Pop quiz.
Cutting the stencil.
I thought we were about to eat some grapefruit. I got so excited.
Well, that's the second, that's step 2, right? Step 1 is like,
Step
get
one.
the design on. Step 2 is eat.
You gotta wash
I've
your
got
fruit.
3 rinse cups, not 4, but one of us can share.
I've got some stuff too.
You good?
Okay,
Oh, sure.
never mind.
A little bit of alcohol. Contains a three
The
layer
party.
I got a mag
Oh,
for each
hey,
of
thank
us,
you.
and a liner for each of us.
Full shebang.
We can just use a little dab of that for our
Dab of
our
it.
caps down. Probably only need 1 each, but there's extra.
We're just doing it on this thing.
Yeah.
Or do you, okay.
If we need them.
Say 2 each.
Just grab a handful.
Arts and craft, arts and craft.
Very excited.
Did you take the little case thingy?
Yep.
It's got extra large letters in the back there.
Oh, you need extra large?
Oh, I got, you see these bear paws? These bear paws.
Those are
Mediums.
Those are latex. Can I see if the smalls will fit? Go on. Yours will be too big. In it. This one.
Thanks, Kyle. I'll just need one.
I didn't want to go too crazy, but.
I didn't want to go too crazy.
I like this one because it looks like waffles. Dibs. Did you want the waffles one?
I'll take an impossible triangle.
Which one's that one?
It's the three triangles.
This one?
Yeah, unless
Yes.
you want that one?
No, it's
It's
fine.
nice. Always the
I mean, I'll
waffles.
take one of the cube ones. Otherwise,
Do something different.
you take which one you
No,
want. then.
Kyle, it's fine.
Give me the Star of David.
It's fine. What's the other page? You guys didn't even. Ooh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
sweet.
I'm like, what's a habit?
I don't think I want anything to do with this one.
Which one?
Is there
Oh,
a,
it's fun. I'll take this one.
so you like Starlight? You got that? There you go. So you don't want waffles?
I do.
You're doing waffles too?
Yeah, there's a lot of fruit. A lot of real
Good
estate
at
over
this.
here.
You're good at this. Okay,
I've never done it before, but I'll try.
um. No, can I think I'll do Star Pyramid.
Well, here's this for you, my guy, if you would like to.
I don't,
Your ones you
I haven't even put my caps down. You guys are
All right, here, give me the
rushing
scissors. I'll cut it.
aggressor sense, like
What did you say you want?
rushing aggressor sense. It's a slow, steady, relaxed process.
What do you want then?
Trying.
What I do. This is what I do.
I've done this,
Cute on
we'll
this.
say 10 times. Yeah, I like that one too. I like that one.
Which one do you want, Ben?
The one, hold it up, hold it up. It's the cubic cubes with the star in it, it's the triangle. The cubic cubes, yeah, I got it. That guy.
That dude.
I want this one. I want this one. Maybe this one. I thought the stencil's gonna suck on that. But this and this.
I'm curious about laying stencil on a fruit anyway.
It's hard. It's very hard.
I've been doing it on fake skin and it's a challenge. Let me tell
It
you.
hurts
it's
the
a
pain in the bone. Like,
It is, like you need to wait like overnight to let it dry.
You want these little waffle cubes?
yes, please.
I didn't mean to send you on a mission, I would have went.
Yeah. And then this little circle dude.
Circle dude,
Yeah, and this little honeycomb.
circle honeycomb.
These-
Okay, so
And this one.
do we need to wash this fruit? Is this fruit prepared?
These ones.
So all of
Well, these
you.
ones.
Yeah.
Maybe residues or wax or something, to be honest, so that, that's considered.
All right.
You guys want to pause on this?
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle.
Look at Kyle, he's on this arts and crafts with the scissors over there.
But you're real good at scrapbooking.
Now, the closer you cut the stencils, like the closer you cut it, the less likely it is to read.
Okay.
Oh, that got my soul. That made me laugh.
I don't know if you guys like big paper towels, or not, I like it.
I don't know enough to have a preference.
Do you want any of these guys, Ben?
I mean, like the desert wants the rain, but my capability of doing any of those is pretty fucking low.
So we'll leave it
There's
on the
those
sheet
big
for you.
ones.
Just leave it, let's not get excited. I got this guy to deal with.
That'd be fun.
We don't have an hour.
Yeah,
So what are you using to wash your fruit with,
This
man?
alcohol.
Oh, okay. Where's that? Is that this
Right
one?
there.
It says alcohol on it.
That man. And then I would say probably dry it off because the alcohol will make your stencil get all crazy.
All right. Give it a dry pat.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
That's clean. Clean
That's-
ale.
That is some clean fruit.
you want to pass the alcohol?
No. Here, do you want to just use my alcohol
Sure.
soak dry?
You didn't want to use mine.
I didn't realize that's what
I thought
happened
so,
until
yeah.
after the fact, and then I was like, oh, she tried to do that. Okay, so I got some clean fruit.
Squeaky clean.
I don't know if it'll squeak. No, it's pretty slippery still.
Slickery.
Okay, so clean fruit. What's after clean fruit? I should probably put on gloves, huh?
Stencil goop.
Stencil goop. We'll give
Since
it.
there's no skin to be shaving.
So
If this was like hairy,
we'd have to prep it.
yes,
A little skin
but it's just
prep,
a fruit, so we don't have to. do
so
that.
we're good. So if your person is fruit smooth, you don't have to shave them?
No, you should still do that because they still have like, there's still gonna be a little bit of fuzzies. And then you're also gonna have like dead skin cells or just stuff on the
So it's
skin.
not just about removing.
No.
The,
It's like a cleanliness thing.
you just want a fresh
Yeah, get it all
Layer.
really neat. Yeah.
layer of
And
skin.
also
that-
your, when you put your bandages on,
Mhm.
depending on what kind of bandage you use, you're gonna want that to stick. Like if you use a Saniderm or something like that,
Uh-huh.
you're gonna want something that's gonna still that stick.
You want to stick in.
Struck up.
So how much should we let the stencil stuff dry before we put the,
You wanna make
you
sure
run it
that
pretty
it's,
wet?
no, you wanna make sure that it's kind of rubbed in. You want just enough that it's gonna let the stencil like adhere to it, but if it's too goopy, it'll make the stencil really blurry, and that's on skin too. You just wanna make sure there's just enough that it's gonna transfer, so you kinda wanna like spread it around. Make sure you get a good, gotta find like a like flat spot on there or something that's like not super bumpy with the stencil. Nah,
Is it cheating if you flatten out your spot a little bit?
I mean, I guess you don't.
Cause you can't do that on somebody's arm, you know?
Yeah, I want it. I'm gonna just put mine here because there's little circles and there's a little dot in the middle, so I'm gonna line it up with its freckle. The circle ones are gonna be hard on this round thing a little bit. And I'm just gonna hold mine down a little bit just to make sure that it. Yes, just make sure not to smudge it around.
Oh, like I'm doing?
Are
Yeah,
you
mine's
smudging?
smudged.
That's not too bad. Yours is actually good. Do you have a Sharpie or something?
I didn't grab one, but I can find one.
I got one in my thingy. Okay.
Should explain that better. I'm sorry. You should just flatten it straight down.
Well, I mean,
See?
yeah.
Yours is good though. A Sharpie fix it. And right there, you can see those lines. So just follow those lines.
Show us, Ben. I'm zooming in, roll it my way. That's not bad at all.
No,
Yeah, that's pretty good.
that little corner, you could just
Like,
touch
that's
that up.
better than the connect the dots would be.
Yeah.
As long as you can see all your corners, you're good.
You got this.
But I mean, you really just need to pay
Make
attention
your
to what
points on there with
data you
your-
need, what
Instead of like
information you
making
need.
the full line on the Sharpie, just do dots so you can see where your corners
If you
are.
want, you could just let that sit there for a minute and get even.
You're gonna let it dry. I like this placement. Look how cute.
I know, that laid really nicely.
Oh, baby.
You guys can see what I'm doing on that screen over there.
So dots. You said.
Yeah. So where the corners would be, so I would start with that, where that Y is right there in the middle. You see that one?
Mhm.
I would just go dot there, because you know that's where that goes. All right.
Is it?
Mhm.
And that one
And then
like
you would
here?
see, check this one first, the one that's right next to it, see where these go. So you can make that connection. Look at this shape. It's like a V. You're trying to make that shape right here in that top. And that would help you a little bit, see where you're going.
Nice, Kyle.
Yep, just like that. And then look for the shape here where those make. So try to figure out where you can line up to make that shape. I'll go a little bit lower maybe. But really close. It's just hard on a round shape. I like right below it, right there. Yeah, that'll be good. So that's your Y. Boom, boom, and then fight up.
So it
And
needs,
that'll be easier than making your straight line on it because that might smudge. You know where those connectors are, so just make your straight line right to pull on it. Mhm.
okay,
Since it's a black Sharpie, you don't want to make your full line, so you won't be able to see where you went really.
yep, that all makes sense.
Did it? I'm sorry. if it
No,
was confusing.
I just,
Okay, I
I'm
was trying.
fresh, you gotta,
You did really good though, getting really close to it the first time and the second time. You did great, buddy.
thanks.
Proud of you.
I'm worried about this star in the middle. Doesn't look very star-like in the stencil. But we'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
You'll be okay.
Would you pass me one of the liner majiggers?
Yeah.
What'd you get me? You gave me 7? I can make that happen. Hal's making decisions for me. Do you like that, Fawn?
Here's your ink when you're ready.
I'll take some.
There you go, pal.
I'm about to tattoo fruit.
You're gonna do it. You're gonna do so good.
Pretty excited.
You got this, bud.
I am pretty excited. Already poured you much ink.
It's okay. Little too excited.
Aw. Fruit gang.
Wipe your paper down.
It's a us situation. I got a stacky over here too.
Mine is not running. Did I not click it in all the way or something? Oh. Okay. Had to press the button.
Oh.
Yeah, sorry. So what do you recommend running the machine for?
I started them all at 6.
Okay.
I immediately dropped down to 5.5.
You should make some practice marks on the other side. None of these have to necessarily be successful.
Oh, I thought these went straight to art shows.
They do, Ben.
Oh, man. So once you've got all this stuff on, how do you adjust your depth? I guess just like that.
I can set it up for you.
I imagine, bro. I've just never done the full wrappy wrap. You're amazing. I'm glad I brought my glasses. Huh? So, Fawn, did you start off tattooing on fruit?
Nope,
What was the first thing you tattooed?
my brother.
I love it. And would you say that's probably the best thing to do?
I mean, so you've got to keep in mind that my brother is somewhat of a tattoo artist as well.
Oh, so
So he kind of
almost under
through
supervision.
it. Yeah, he's like, okay, so he showed me the contact screw on it. I don't know if you remember what a contact screw is on a coil machine.
Uh-huh.
But he's like, to adjust the speed, you just twist that. First of all, no, that is, I now know, like, actually, like a week later, I learned, no, that was not right.
That's not how we're ripping it.
That's not how we're ripping it at all. But I pretty quickly got myself professional equipment and kind of started taking it seriously. So
Huh.
it started out as like kitchen wizard, scratcher, tattoo party extraordinaire, but started from the bottom. Kind of doesn't matter where you start, but what you do with it. You know what I mean? You know, you can stay underground and then go and all the things, or you can do it the right way. So I got right with it as quickly as I could, sort of getting experience as quick as I could. But my early tattoos were just a lot of like fixing and finishing and covering things that had been started by other people,
Right?
you know.
I love doing this.
You can, you know, it's an excellent opportunity to learn from somebody else's mistakes. If you can be open-minded enough and look at it and be like, okay, so why does this tattoo suck? Instead of just looking at it and saying it sucks, and be like, well, this skull is drawn poorly, but why? How could the anatomy that's here be fixed and made correct?
Well, and sometimes there's good stuff in it. It's just other stuff isn't great. So that's helpful.
Sometimes like with lettering especially, it's like, man, that looks rough, but why does it look rough? To actually like put it into words and then to like learn from that is I think an important thing to do early on. Like, don't just look at it and say it's awful, of course, otherwise they wouldn't be wanting it fixed or finished or whatever the
Right.
situation is.
My thing is I always know I have had a distinct honor and privilege of hanging around top class artists for a majority of the time I've been around tattooing. So it's I don't know what makes the difference. I just know it's different. So that's gonna be different for me.
Yeah, as a collector, you don't necessarily need to know those things, but as a tattooer, it's a superb opportunity to learn from somebody else. You know, it's like an outside of the box, backwards way to learn, but the way to learn nonetheless. Eesh. That one's scary.
Which one?
This one.
Not a lot of information to work off of.
What's the bonus that we don't talk about is the citrusy smell.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Mhm. Chips.
Uh-oh. We just wiped that bugger right off there, didn't you, Ben? Where has my stencil gone?
I'm using a Boulder stencil.
Mhm.
This guy will do.
Heck yeah. Little triangle doodad.
The impossible guy.
I picked the triple impossible. I like the impossible triangles, so they're good.
Kyle, is this your time tattoo, first time tattooing fruit?
I have tattooed fruit before, but this is like,
This is the
The-
first
the
time you've
official.
taken it seriously.
I mean, I took it seriously back then too, but I feel like I'm armed with a lot more knowledge compared to then. So
Do you have pictures of it? I have pictures of
I
my
do
old
not.
fruit. My first fruit I ever did.
Ooh, that's an unexpected thing. When you think you're pulling a straight line and you're like, nope, skin nodule.
That's real life.
Yeah, that was practical. Practical knowledge right there.
Mhm. Tell you what.
Tell you what.
Yeah, he was close.
No, dang it, brother.
There, well,
I have found it just fun to something you've seen done a million times. Like, oh, that's why they do that. Okay. Has been a lot of fun for me.
I can work with this. Oh, no. Are you guys having success?
I'm having fun.
yeah,
I don't know if success is the right word, but there's ink going into fruit.
I'm gonna try tattooing again sometime. I'm pretty good at this.
Mayhaps a career.
Maybe.
See, that's the thing. I've never had the intention to still don't have the intention to be like a full-time tattooer. That's such an intimidating space when I hang out with the Fawn Bakers and Dirk Morrisons of the world. So it's like, I understand everybody started somewhere, but at the same time, I feel like it's a pretty heavy space.
I mean, I guess everybody feels that way though. Like I told Fawn when I met her, I was very intimidated. So I looked at her artwork and I was like, oh boy. But I mean,
Right?
if every artist did that, then we wouldn't be, wouldn't be a lot of cool art out there. We're all gonna have imposter syndrome. That's just part of it. Done with my first one.
But see, I met fun kayaking.
That's cute. I love
I don't think I knew you were a tattooer the first time we met.
Smoking weed?
I was
Like
like, what's
smoking
up,
weed.
buddy?
Smoking weed too.
Would you like
Oh.
to smoke weed together?
You're my spirit animal? Okay.
I guess we can hang out.
You wanna?
Aw. Skin nodule strikes again. Yeah, it's all right. It's fun.
Well, if you're following along with us, I'll grab the handheld here again in a minute.
If you have to make a double line on something, just try to go back and make it even everywhere else too. That'll help. Like where those bumps were.
This double line you speak of, you are talking like you think I'm making corrections over here. Nope. Stick
When
it
you're
and
done
set
with
it.
me,
It's in there.
Then-
present it as is. One shot off.
That's what you get. Missed lines and all.
Incorrect geometry and everything.
Oh, so much incorrect geometry.
It's so funny because I can just roll this thing around like a ball. If only I could do that with my client.
I was just thinking that when I was like spinning it around, I was like, this is awesome.
Let's do some connect the dots.
So something like if you're doing a project like that and you're like stressed out about getting started on it, you could just make dots on all the corners at first, just so you lined up where everything is in case your stencil gets wiped away.
Mm-hmm.
And that way you can go, okay, cool, I can connect these dots. And that's a little easier than trying to like freehand on a whole thing. you know?
Right.
If you like, just like to get started, if you're not super confident, or like work from the bottom up, so you're not.
Yeah, that's looking wonderful.
Thanks. Some of
Good
the,
job, Kyle.
some of them got a little cross because the stencil wore off and I lost it in there, so, you know,
Good thing is it's only a grapefruit.
exactly.
Yeah, same. I wiped off a lot of stencil and kind of went with what I had, and I'm trying to piece in the rest, but I'm just not seeing this star. I think
I made the rookie mistake of starting in the middle. Cause I
I
was
just-
like, yeah, it all converges to one point.
well, I'm going with okay-ish.
Okay-ish.
For round one on fruit, there's lines. There's no citrus on the table, you know.
Yeah. So there's lines.
Fine.
Ben, it's not bad for the one you selected.
Let's see.
Couple.
Okay.
couple little
I lost the
funky
star
lines.
completely, but I could never see it in the stencil. anyway.
One shot Thomas, you know?
We're missing a few. I think I can see some as I look around. But
You did good though.
I don't know what happened. The star went by that.
Oh my God, it's really good. Yeah.
That's how I warmed up.
Nice, nice. It's a warm-up line.
Yeah. warm up.
Kyle,
All right,
Kyle,
so-
you know the warm-up line?
My swiggles on the bottom.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Again, help for us.
All right, so let's do this guy
Gonna
again.
clear out Bag two, or you wanna do another?
Well, I think
I'll get him in the
uh,
bag.
I got the swing of this guy. I kind of want
Is that why we're trying another
to.
guy?
I want to try him again because I
Maybe
gotta.
Alexa gets to know him.
Maybe I should do a little simpler one.
Do you want the waffles?
Because you're up.
That's okay, I got hella things over here to do. You want some waffles?
Can't we
Got
use
the
this
whole
twice
thing.
if we do it right?
Look, this is my first one.
Okay, that's pressure. Now I gotta
Oh,
do it
no, I'm
right.
sorry, that was a. that
That's
was meant to be
pressure.
like-
Okay, do it right.
Beautiful, nice.
Sure, of course.
Ben, let us see your first one up close. Hold tight. Nice.
You said stop shaking.
As I'm graded on. Perfect.
Did you see mine?
Here's looking, Kyle. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
Kyle, you can say-
That's perfect placement
like
for
it's-
that.
Be-
It's perfect
Step one,
placement
right?
for that.
See you better.
All right, so
Okay.
wash the fruit, take off the devil, wash the fruit, put the stencil.
I
on
wanted
the-
to line up the star on the center there,
Yeah.
but that did not happen.
That's what I did too with the dot. in the middle.
I was like, I gotta disguise the blemish, right?
Yeah. Work it in.
It's part of it.
Now, we are not using like aseptic technique whatsoever. We are playing with fruit. None of this is
Okay,
how we
I
would
need your
ever
help here.
actually really set up.
I clicked. it.
Malarkey. I
Yeah.
tattooed this
Turn it
one
on.
every time. I've never tattooed a
matter.
person. I
For
should,
tattooing rubber.
Tighten it.
I shouldn't,
Change
I
it,
shouldn't
like
say that.
tighten this all the way down. Yeah, try. This is on. Is it all like? Weird.
Am I not clicked in, correct?
Maybe tighten it up. I don't know how this one works.
Hold on, let me
Mine,
switch. Camera.
Goo, 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 goo.
I always go, give me the goop, give me the goop.
Give it a go. Give it a go, give it a go.
And my
Give me
clients
the
with that
goop,
a lot.
That's gonna happen. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks. It's part of my life now. Give it a go. Give it a go. Probably not just during tattoos.
Like a Chipotle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, guacamole.
Okay.
She says. Oh. You tell him over here now. I'm more of a barbacoa boy myself, but I get it. I get it.
You're gonna see something dumb I just did.
What's that?
I don't wanna tell you.
What you doing? Oh, you put it on your hands. You shouldn't do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna try.
Okay. One more time, one more time, put it one more time.
Um,
Put your hand, now that it's there, and then I would just flat down on that, just straight down, boom, slap, hold. Like that, yeah.
Don't move, Ben.
It's too late. I've
Just
already
hold.
moved.
Just hold.
Hold. And then when it's done, we hear the timer. Yeah.
I was sitting at a traffic light the other day. And got
Lift it
nudged
gently.
and pointed over and watched a goose lay an egg. And.
You did okay.
It folded.
It's the bumps. It's the
Well, it
bumps.
folded. We lost a whole.
Boy.
Can we
Just
just-
try again,
can we
because you
just-
did good with the stencil, so you could try again. Yeah, it's just.
How's it going with the mags?
Good.
Try it again.
Can I get in this?
If you
Trying to make
don't
sense of
just
an
succeed,
impossible shape,
pay
you
a
know.
Professional. Oh, oh, yeah, do that, do that, do that.
That's what the Grease just said.
Keep on second do you do succeed.
If the person don't succeed, they don't succeed.
I can live by that. There's one thing I'm learning to do, it's not be good at stuff. All right. Equipped it clean, so do more stuff.
Yeah.
Give me more goo. Here, from here to here. Fawn, did you ever think the day would come that we would be tattooing citrus together? He knows.
How many years?
I got a wobble.
All right, so so
What you need?
start at the top and roll it down.
So what I would do is take it. Make. Take it, like, figure out where you want it to go, or like a softer spot. Figure out where you want it to be, kind of like place like you did before, and take your hand flat down on it and just press and hold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll hold it for you while you do the pressing.
Okay, so just go.
There you go. Wrap all the way around the shape, yep. Boom. And then press as hard as you can, yeah. Break the fruit. Just if you like push hard, then it will.
They break it.
It's a brick the fruit.
Right.
Brick the fruit.
Break the-
Brick the fruit. Get the another thing here.
Oh, side of the red light, watch the goose lay an egg and push it into its nest and
That's
it's
really cute.
sit on top of it, all in the span of a red light.
It's beautiful.
Man, that marshmallow right there, real hard. Okay, okay, okay.
They good enough
Did they do
just
it?
Making little corrections.
Yay.
This point got a little fudged. But I think we can fudge it.
Typically, I put my stencils on if I can hold them like that.
Mhm.
Just hold on to you.
So I need a dot.
Yeah.
Here. A dot. Here.
And then with your, when you go in to tattoo it, find where all your lines are gonna connect and just go ahead and make little dots for yourself in case anything works away. When your corners on, you can go, okay, cool, I connect this to this, to this, to this.
So what do you think? Would you just order this off of Amazon, Kyle, and try this on a human being with the confidence after trying this tonight?
Would I try it on a human being?
Yeah.
I think I would wait a while.
I'm ready.
Kind of goes back to like how quickly you got better at painting over the last year,
Mm-hmm.
all the tricks and everything you learned.
I'll start booking clients.
Being able to like
More.
have the freedom to make mistakes and, you know, understand how deep the needle is going, how much pressure needs to be applied, all of those things. Like you start to understand that the needle is gonna go in, it's already doing the work. You don't have to press it off. Once you start learning those little tricks, it then starts becoming like feasible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Once you learn how to apply the paint almost, so to speak. What's been really helpful too is like being here for the past year, kind of sitting around and watching and just observing whatever techniques and how you guys do what you do. Now sitting here in front of a fruit, it's like, cool. Now I can tap back and apply all that to however minor or major of a tip it might have been.
After I'm done writing my name. Think we'd probably be at a good spot to wrap up. Are you guys at some spots with yours? We're close to it.
I just started this one, but we good to wrap the show up.
Can I get the alcohol, please?
Hmm?
Thank you, appreciate it.
Beep, beep.
Like, you know, one of those things where it's like, oh man, I don't need the tattoo fruit, but it's like when you pick up a crayon and a coloring book and you can't put it down.
Right. I'm just thoroughly enjoying the citrusy splash.
Ben's like, you know what? I think I'm just going tattoo fruit.
Just enjoying the citrusy splash.
You know, we've got to be able to like tattoo them and then dry them out in a reasonable way, because you can dry oranges and things like that for potpourri, right?
Right?
Mhm.
Would that be a thing? Like grapefruit scarification?
That'd be cool. I feel like you would have to cater the design to like the shrinkage of it, you know? Unless you would like, would you want it to look full, fresh or dry, you know?
One with dried cow. Just as you design a tattoo to look healed.
True point.
Look at you guys tatty blasting away.
It is a lot of.
Maddie's over here going freehand crazy. I almost brought in some little cuties. I feel like those might be easier and harder. Like the texture is so much smaller on those, but they're so much more delicate.
The first thing I saw was clementines. And I was like, I don't want to be stuck doing something that small.
I don't think I selected the orange that wanted to be peeled today, guys.
Apparently not.
This orange wanted to be tatty blasted. Look at how thick the skin is on this thing.
Oh, man.
Oops. You know how I am about hitting people with fruit skin. Sorry,
I
Kyle.
want to draw that.
It's okay. I've just been getting the splash too.
Well, I thought that was the part of the glory of having fresh fruit around.
That was the
getting
nice part.
Zest all over.
Yeah. Little shower of juice.
Juice shower.
And now. Well, what episode has this been, Kyle? 126?
126.
Well, everybody that's joined us this week, thanks for tuning in again. Maddie, thanks for taking the time to join us and chat
Sure did.
with us.
It was fun. Thank you.
I feel like Thursdays that you're available, I kind of feel like you're a little obligated to talk with us now. So,
Yeah, that'd be fun.
everybody tune in next week. We'll have another show lined up for you.
Do you want me to turn the thing off?
Talking for a few minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't
We'll
even write
see.
the second. I was like, you were done.
I think you did
If you want to go and wrap it up now.
Thanks.
then it's you.
Oh, good.
All right, everybody. Well, Ben,
Did the connecting the
Maddie,
dots help?
you want to drop your, how people can get in touch with you and where to find your, your handles and
yeah.
what have you?
Yes, I'm shabby_beatnik. If you just type in shabby beatnik, you can find me just about everywhere. Yeah.
You want to share anything about your discourse group, anything like that?
Oh.
No, is that non-tattoo related?
You should never look
Never look that one up. All right, guys.
Those aren't
Well,
the guys. They're
Well,
great though.
we will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.